so we're going to take a look to see what's coming for you this May, okay? So I know we have about a week before we're there. So I kind of wanted to go ahead and get this reading out for you guys so you know what to expect coming into that. But I've never done a monthly reading before, so I'm excited about it. I have 4 piles instead of 3 to choose from, and we're going to go into tarot. We're going to get some of these oracles here, these sacred traveler oracles, and then I'm also going to pull some stickers and read them intuitively, and then we are going to get some advice, okay? So 4 piles for your month of May, what to expect. Pile 1 here is the Tarot of the Curious Creatures. It's the Chris Ann deck, and this is a piece of moss agate. I hope I hope it is. If you can see the moss part right here on the bottom, and then it's see-through, you can see it on the other side. Okay, and then this is the Yarn Tarot, and then this is a Cat's Eye Teal Cat's Eye Heart, and then this here is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot, and this is a piece of malachite, and I have not looked that up. I'm going off my memory. I'm pretty sure that's right. Piece of malachite. And then this one here is the Influence of the Angels Tarot, and this is a piece of, it's a green Aura Quartz crystal and kind of rainbow. It's real pretty actually. Okay, so all kind of green stones here. I've actually decided on the green stones because we are going into May. It's when everything's kind of growing, coming out. We just left spring there, so things are full. And the color green is about that, is, you know, about earth and grounding. And I feel like whatever new that's came in springtime is going to kind of more so ground itself in May. It's just the way I look at things. So the green is signifier for that. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. Timestamps are down below, and I'll see you at your pile. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose the Tarot of Curious Creatures and the Moss Agate stone or crystal, see if you can see it without me holding it underneath. Can y'all see that? Okay, and I think this is really supposed to be a really good crystal for grounding, especially grounding ideas, grounding decisions. It has a really earthly energy to it, you know, like a pentacle. So, do I hear that thunder? It's the perfect temperature. Well, yeah, that too. Perfect weather right now. It's just stormed really bad, really bad actually. And it's settled down now, so now we just have a light rain. So you can kind of hear it if I'm quiet, which I won't be. But every now and then you'll hear a little bit of thunder. It's like perfect, soothing nap time. Sunday afternoon weather. It's like perfect. Today is Sunday, so. Okay. So pile 1. What's going on in your life? What's going to happen in May? What's coming towards you in May? What's the energy going to be like? What obstacles are you going to have to face? Okay, so let's take a look at that. Pile 1. Pile 1. What's coming for pile 1 in May, Spirit? What's coming for pile 1? So we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Swords. So technically, since the 9 is in reverse, I see this as 666, which is meaning that you need to reconnect, which is interesting because we just talked about your crystal there that you chose and how you are connected to the earth and grounding. Ace of Wands. I think there's an idea that you're flip-flopping in. Okay, the Empress is here to clarify in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. There's an idea that you're contemplating here. Why is the Ace of Swords in reverse? Two of Swords. There's that decision. Why is the Six of Cups? Why is the Six of Cups here? You have the Magician in reverse. Okay. Why is the Six of Swords here? Ten of Wands. You're going to be releasing something. Why is the Nine of Wands here? Well, Nine of Wands. Why is the Ace of Wands? It's interesting. Five of Pentacles. Okay. Eight of Pentacles is the bottom of the deck. There's a lot to do with career here. The Ace of Cups is in reverse. Okay, we're going to go into the bottom of the deck in just a minute. Let me go ahead and pull some of these oracles. These are the Sacred Traveler oracles. This is going to give me more of an insight what's going on with you in May, okay? I think I'll also be able to pull some advice from these as well. And then we're going to get some stickers for you as well, okay? I'm just going to get the whole shebang out so we can get it over. And I'm just going to go through what exactly I'm seeing. Straightforward, okay? Okay, that came out. Cleansing waters, purifications, activates. Okay, let's say that again. Purification activates vibrant life force. Okay, this goes along and ties into everything else that we've already talked about that grounding. Transformation. This is heavy Scorpio vibes. This is the Phoenix here. Transformation. The Death card, rebirth. All this is in this card right here. A fresh new way of living emerges. So definitely some changes that are going to be taking place for you here in the month of May. And I also want to say, the bottom of this one says, passion and pleasure, savor your life. And this is significant, goes along with this bottom of the deck energy as well, as far as what you want to work on here. And I do feel like this is going to pertain to some of you, career, and some of you, it's more of your life itself. But to be honest, both of those really tie into one another, because if you are changing your career, it's in turn going to change your life in some sort of way. So I'm going to just kind of read this straightforward, okay? Use it to where it applies to you the most. I'm going to move these down because you can't see them, and then we'll get some stickers real quick. Now, like I say all the time, if y'all watch my channel, if you're new, well, let me just give you the info about this box. I have no idea what's in this box. I have not gone through all these stickers. Some of them were kind of crazy. I had a friend give me some stickers one time, and I threw them in this box with my other stickers for intuitive readings. And some of them are kind of crazy. I'm going to be honest with you. So, still figuring some of these stickers out. So let's just see what we have for you. I'm going to just get a kind of a small handful of stickers here for you, okay? Okay, so see what I mean? Like, what the hell is that? That's scary, isn't it? I have no idea what this is. It's like a panther on steroids. I don't know what this is. It's black and white, I can tell you that. It's giving me fear vibes. You also have a pineapple. No, that's not a pineapple. That's a aloe vera plant. That's a succulent. And then this, I mean, what is that? Is that a balloon? Is that a fortune cookie? Is that the sun in some kind of weird way? Like, what is this? Or is it a cherry? A blue cherry. Okay. Somebody fear in this scenario here is a big part of what's going on with you, okay, in the month of May. Fear is your obstacle in the month of May, okay? And You will have success here in the month of May if you can overcome this fear and see this situation that you're faced with, or in general with yourself, fear coming up in you, and you're comparing that to everything that you're faced with in the month of May. You will have success here if you can ground yourself and heal some things when they do come up. Okay? It's going to take some self-awareness here in the month of May for you. Heavy energy of grounding yourself, guys. I mean, come on, you even got the sticker, the aloe vera plant, which is the healing plant, and it provides groundedness with that as well. You have cleansing waters and transforming things for yourself in the month of May. I feel like there's going to be a new understanding that you're going to come in within yourself and what you want. But there's also some decisions that you're going to be faced with here throughout the month of May. One in particular that you've been kind of sitting on for a long time, because you're having a hard time seeing you're having a really hard time seeing the logical side of it. The passion is there. The desire is there. You're having a hard time being able to face or see the logical side of it. And without being able to make a decision about how you logically see this playing out, there's a chance here on the table that you could end up in a lost opportunity or a very lost space. Okay? So you need to allow fear. You need to overcome that fear. I mean, that's the goal here, I feel like, for you guys. I think that this has something to do with the past and not feeling good enough in the past, or not feeling like you had the capability to play out what you were wanting to play out in the situation. So you're kind of fighting yourself against your head and your heart, okay? But it's not the heart, the part of the heart that is the emotional aspect of it. It's the part of the heart that is the passion, the drive part of the heart, the desire, all that stuff. It's coming from that part of your heart, okay? And because it's on fire, sometimes we're kind of cautious about things like that. Things that you feel such an energy for, such a drive for. So you're fighting a little bit with yourself here, and it's keeping you unable to make a decision. Something that you need to pay attention to, okay? You're gonna be faced in some moments with self-worth. Things are gonna take place here for you guys, okay? And one of the reasons that you need to be so grounded in your space is to do with you in that self-worth. It's like you're on the road to success, but you can mess up that road for yourself at any moment in time because of letting things like that fear take advantage of you. It's okay to have fear. You know, it's okay to have all those emotions. We have them for a reason. You know, they're there for a reason. They're there to alert us in situations. So it's okay to have that fear. You need to be alerted in situations. You need to question things. You need to have, you know, those decisions within yourself about things. To think about it and say, okay, is this good or bad for me? So it's okay to have the fear, but it's when the fear starts to overtake you and your ability to even make a decision, that's when it's the problem. And I think that's kind of what's going to happen for you in the month of May. That's what you're going to be faced with. You have opportunity for success here. Definitely. There's two things that go into play with this. One of them is you're going to have to release some things from your past, okay? You're going to have to just release the burdens of what was. Let go. This is a call here in the month of May that things will work out for your benefit here if you are capable of letting go of your past. You don't need to hold on to it anymore. There's not a need for it. You've already went through it. You've already learned it. You already know what you need to know to move forward within yourself. There's no need to stay there. It's time to move. It's time to keep going. I'm not saying that if you're in a relationship here, for instance, I'm not saying that you have to move away from that person unless that's the thing that you desire and want to do. I'm saying that you have to drop the wants. Drop all that. You have a long ways to go. And if you're carrying those wands with you the whole entire way, resentment, disappointment, all those emotions that you're holding that are in that suitcase there, you know, that baggage that you carry, if you hold on to that, it's going to take you, it's going to be much harder on you. So much harder on you. Let me put this into a visual illustration here, okay? Something you can visualize, okay? This monkey has all these wands on its back. And it's making this face because it's just turned around and looked at you going, holy crap, I have to go that much farther with all this stuff on my back? That sucks. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. This is going to be you. You need to have this realization here and drop the damn wands. It's only holding you back. If you carry that with you, that's tied into that fear that's carrying along with you. Because it's so crazy and this is so wild. It's hard for us to, it's really simple, but we turn everything so much harder on than what it is. You're the one that's carrying all those wands with you because you have a fear that all those wands are going to come back into play. But you're still carrying them with you the whole way. Okay. So if you have you were disappointed in someone, right? You were betrayed in someone, you lost their trust. Whatever it was for you, it's a wand added to you. It's a sword in your back, okay? So you have that sword in your back. You could take that sword out and allow that to heal and kind of keep moving forward, but you're choosing to carry that sword along with you because you're choosing to carry that hurtful, that painful memory in fear that that's going to happen to you again. So you carry it along with you to have that reminder of that pain constantly. Why are you doing that to yourself? That's just so miserable, isn't it? Carrying that pain with you. There's burdens that you have a whole bag full of that stuff. And it might not be pain, it might be resentment, betrayal, hurt, negative feelings, a whole bag full of them. And you just realize you want to go over here. This is where you want, this is home base here. Do you really want to carry all that the whole way? Or you know what, you can have a much lighter load, be a hell of a lot easier if you just drop that damn bag. You know it? Not worry as much about all that stuff. Don't let fear get the better of you when it comes to making decisions about things that you want. How frustrating is that? I feel you. Frustrated. Frustrated with yourself, and I get it. You're frustrated with yourself. Stop being so afraid to make a decision. Just do it already. You know, it's that idea of that's it. And this has been coming up a lot in my readings. I think it's, you know, I get the same people that read my readings, so I'm tuning into the same energies over and over, and this is a process that you're going through, and this, you know, the energy overall that our universe is in at this moment in time. It's kind of more of a collective type thing, I feel, but it's part of making those decisions and having harmony within those decisions that you make. And here we are in Taurus season now, you know, and it's realizing what you either can have or you do have and finding peace within that. But you have to choose either way. So you have two choices here. And you say to yourself, I can make myself happy in both of these places. One's going to be easier than the other. But I can make it happen for me in either place. I can find harmony. But what is it that I want the most? That's a hard decision, isn't it? It really is, because when you sit down and write the pros and cons and they come out to the same, what do? You know, what do you do after that? Well, then you start to go on that inner search, right? Go within to find the answers. You know, have that introspection in yourself, which is part of the journey that you're experiencing in the month of May. And you will get there, come to that conclusion. But part of what they're saying here is that you can get there a lot easier if you let down these wands and release that aspect of it. And there's a heavy part of this is the need to really ground in that self-worth. It's very heavy here. Because it's, I would say on a scale, let's just say 60% of what's keeping you from making a decision here, moving forward, is the thought of self-worth. For however that looks for you, you'll know what I'm talking about in your situation. Self-worth. How is that affecting your inability to make decisions? You know, nobody in this world, no matter whose advice you get, even me, it doesn't matter. Anybody that you get advice from, nobody knows you like you know you. Nobody knows you like you know you. And nobody knows what's best for you like you do. There's a reason for that in that moment in time. There's good advice out there. But it's how you are interpreting that advice moving forward. Do you feel like that's something good for you or something not good for you? It's all about making that decision based upon your own self and what you feel. Because there's a reason for everything, guys. And if you're feeling a pull towards something, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that pull that you feel. And that pull is going to continue to irritate you and irritate you and irritate you and irritate you until it gets into this big thing. Like a fire starts small and then it just keeps going, and then before you know it, there's nothing you can do about it. It's wild. It's just out there. And this is like this burden that you're carrying. Before you know it, it's going to break your back. You know, something's going to happen here where you're not capable or able to get to the home base that you want to get to. But it's up to you. It's your choice and it's your decision moving forward. So you need to work on your self-worth. You need to do some grounding work. There's going to be a decision here, but you're going to be in a clouded version of yourself and not be able to make the right decision if you don't work on this going into it, okay? Yes, you are good enough. Yes, you have everything you need. And you can do this moving forward, but you're going to have to release some of the expectations that you've placed on yourself, definitely, and give yourself a break and release some of the pain that you're holding on to. You know, for crying out loud, it's killing you. What are you doing to yourself? Stop that. Stop it. Don't go there. if you're in a sad place, there's obviously some healing that needs to be done, and that's okay. But don't go too far down don't go too far down the well to where you can't get yourself back out of it. Don't put yourself through misery if it's not needed. And I don't think it is for you. I think that you've already came through this obstacle. You know how to deal with this pain that's left there so that you can move forward into a calmer place. And you have that opportunity here. Don't cut yourself short. See, it's like, here's this new opportunity. Here it is. You can see it finally. Looky there, that home base. And then there's this to clarify. Where are you at? Well, you're here in that well, drowning your sorrows here over things that you've lost. You can totally come out of this. You know, and pandas are fun. And you're a panda here. And this is the first sad panda I've ever seen in my life. And why is he sad? Well, because you're not doing anything. You're not having fun. You're not experiencing this that's there, that opportunity that's there. So focus on that this month. And this will happen for you. A fresh, new way of living emerges. Think of it like that, okay? Think of it like that. New experiences, new things, a new freshness that's there. The bottom of the deck here, let's go through this real quick so I can get some advice. There's the Emperor. This might have been a struggle for you. If this is pertaining to a relationship that's in the background that you've been investing in or putting time or effort into in some kind of way, you're ready to kind of break yourself free from that because it's becoming too overwhelming for you, and that's okay. I feel like if you've been waiting for some kind of offer, some kind of apology, some kind of something from someone here, whatever that way, shape, or form looks for you, I feel like that you're going to kind of be in this energy of giving up on that. And I feel like that might be some of that loss that you're afraid of, okay, that's holding you back. That's a thought or idea that you need to be aware of. And what's that healing aspect there? Pull that sword out of your back, okay? That this is a loss. You're gonna have to change the way you're looking at that moving forward. It's okay to be sad. Just don't get too far into that well. Okay? Queen of Swords. You really need to take control of your mindset, okay? You really, really need to take control of your mindset moving forward. Because there's an opportunity that you can't see coming. There's an opportunity here for you to be able to acknowledge the past, heal from the past, and to move forward to something that is very good for you. Something that's really pleasurable for you, okay? Something that will bring you fulfillment is here. It's right here. And you're moving on past the past in order to get to that. But it will only take place if you can release the burden, release the feeling of loss, release the fact that you don't feel like you have everything you need or you're not good enough for something, and release that indecision, okay? And take care of yourself. The way I'm channeling this, it's coming through like a spirit's like a parent telling you to don't do that to yourself, you know. I don't know what to compare that to. Whatever it is that your parents told you not to do is bad for you, you know, whatever that is. If that's the way I'm feeling it with the way spirit's coming across here, is stop being hard on yourself. Stop telling yourself bad things. Just don't even let that energy in the door, you know? Don't even peek. Just keep that out of it. Just keep that away from you. Move in this month of May. Take control. Queen of Swords, take control of everything. The Three of Cups, this is an opportunity to reunite. This could be an opportunity to reunite with a friend or with friends, or celebrate something, or have a get-together, or there being some kind of, I don't know, I'm just feeling this Three of Cups is about celebrations and unions and or reunions and friendships and just gathering of groups in some kind of way for fun. Do it. Do it. If that opportunity comes here, go ahead and go out and do that, because that's something that's going to help you moving forward, okay? To be in a more high vibrational energy instead of being in this worry and fear and lack and all this other stuff. Okay? Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay. This is part of, I think, also what you feel like you've lost or you're losing in some kind of way. This could be an opportunity for a new relationship, or feeling or waiting for that new relationship to unfold. But it being in reverse, it's kind of an energy of wanting to say that whatever that was for you is emotionally draining you. It's been emotionally draining you because you are so indecisive about whatever that is. About whether you should stay or go, or give up or not, or, you know, whatever that is for you is emotionally exhausting. That's why they want you to go out. That's why they want you to go hang out with people that bring you joy and happiness and fun. That's why they want you to take control of your thoughts. This is going to be work, okay? The Eight of Pentacles. You will make progress here, though. You don't put in the work without getting the Nine of Pentacles, which for you here right now, it's in reverse because it's blocked. You have to go through this 8 first. You have to put in the work within yourself. There may be some things that you need to cut out at the time of May, or maybe that you're thinking about cutting out. They're giving you the go on that one. They're telling you to go ahead and do that. Cut whatever that is that will help you to be healthier, help you to be in your mind, body, and soul, okay? But you're going to have to put in the effort here. And don't look at this, whatever this decision is at hand. They're wanting you not to look at it as a complete decision, straightforward. Don't look at it, they're saying, as the Two of Swords. Look at it as the Two of Pentacles. Look at it as two opportunities that can both have their benefits to them. And then choose in that way. Don't look at it as it has to be this way or it has to be that way, and it's so cut forward, okay? You need to have a positive influence on the way that you're making that decision, is what they're saying, if that makes sense. But definitely transformation, guys, and definitely do some grounding in these thoughts, in this decision, in these ideas, in yourself. I think that water may be, for some of you, water is very significant here, which we're coming into May. A lot of swimming time stuff is going on. Trips are going on. Maybe you can be near an ocean. That would be amazing. That's a great way to cleanse. But definitely purify your energy here. It will help you to kind of feel better. Just kind of cleanse all of this stuff you've been carrying off. It's going to transform the way that you're living here, okay? You're going into a different phase in May. So let's get some closing advice with something. I think I'm going to use the True Offering Oracles. And then we'll also get a affirmation kind of card. We'll use... We'll use these. I think these are, if I can get them, I think these are the Universe Has Your Back oracles. So we'll use those as well. Okay, and then we'll get some charms. Not charms. Initials. Okay. So this is going to be like, what is a good message for Pile 1 Spirit? What do you need them to know? What's a good message to leave with Pile 1? Being enough. Exactly. Being enough. That's what we talked about. You are enough. You are good enough. You are good enough. Ambition. That's this Ace of Wands. Something that you're being driven or feeling the pull towards that you want to do here. Desire that you have. 2 more came out. I'm going to just forget it. Just take it. We have true offering, which I told you there's an offering here, and gratitude. It's another way for you to be able to stay in this energy of releasing everything that was. And we talked about that in the past. You're looking at what you've lost, not what you've gained from it. You need to look at more on what you've gained, okay? What's the physical thing that you have now due to that loss? Okay, being enough. The innermost heart says you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change, no need to grow more deserving. You, yes, you are love. Ambition. May I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond my mind's imagination. Please use me for the highest good. This is important for you because not only do we talk about that pull of your intuition, but this is something else that's coming up here is the fact that you need to acknowledge that whatever plan you have internally in your mind, that is the way that you see this thing playing out, okay? Because you put a lot of emphasis on that when it comes to making decisions. You think about a lot about the future of that. How's that going to affect everyone that's involved, right? It's another thing that's keeping you in this place here of indecisive energy. You need to kind of put your mind further out there and think to yourself, you know, sometimes there's a higher plan. And sometimes that plan is something that I could never even imagine how it would go like that. But it worked in every bit of the word. You know, every bit of the plan worked for everybody and everything. And I couldn't even there's no way I could have came up with that. Well, that's because Spirit knows way more than you do. And they know about not only your situation, but their situation, that person's situation, this situation that's going on over here, and how all that's going to intertwine with one another, or how it could intertwine with one another. And you need to remember that when you're making that decision, instead of saying, I know this is going to happen here if I do this, and this is going to happen here if I do that. That's why in some things, in some decisions that we make, we have to solely listen to our own inner guidance. Because we're called to things because they're already played out, right? There's a plan there that we can't see. And the whole point is to surrender what you want over to what can come to you. Don't cut yourself short. Okay, gratitude. Finding just one thing that you feel grateful for right now and let that gratitude pour through your body. It's a healing balm like the warmth of the sun. Exactly. Do some grounding. Find that being able to just have gratitude for everything that you've experienced, even the loss. Even the loss. So that you can pull yourself up out of that well and have that transformation to move forward. Okay? True offering. May I release the fears, illusions, and addictions that keep me from true offering. May I relax in your plan, trusting that the next steps will always be shown. Use me, love. Use me for your highest. I am yours alone. So there's really nothing to be said about that. That was kind of like a sum up story of everything that we've already talked about. That was a really good way of putting it. Okay, so let's see what cards come out for you guys here for advice. Whoop! Okay, well, they just threw that at me, but I'm not taking that whole wad, so let's see what else. Oh, well, that just was aggressive, wasn't it? In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. I saw this while I was shuffling. I choose love no matter what. This it's not just love like a relationship or something to that nature. Love within yourself. You know, it's hard. Why is it so hard for us to choose ourselves? Why is that? Well, it has a lot to do with the way, you know, the world is outside of us. A lot of us, it has to do with the way that we were taught. You know, we were taught to put everyone else in front of ourselves. But we weren't taught about all the other stuff about that. There has to be a balance there. I feel like that might be an issue with you as well. Maybe while I'm going into that, you might have an issue with doing something for your own self. You may have a fear behind that of some sense that it won't work out for you. And that might have a lot to do with it, is what you've been taught to believe. You know, you do things for others. You put others before yourself. And it's okay in some scenarios, obviously. I mean, come on, you use your common sense there, you know. But when it comes right down to, okay, if you're stuck in a relationship and you're deciding whether to stay or go, even though you're completely unhappy and it's a horrible relationship and everything else, but that person's going to feel bad if you leave. Well, so you're choosing to live your life for that other person, pretty much, you know? I mean, that's just a small scenario. It could be a job. It could be a living situation. It could just be a, you know, whatever that is for you. It's different for everybody. Choose love. How about that? That's easy, isn't it? Okay. My faith, look at that tree. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. There you go. Imagine that. I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. Miracles are natural. Okay, let's get some initials here to close. So this was more like, I didn't know how this was going to come out in the reading. Some people, like, I know that I get readings like this every now and then, and some people do really specific things that are going to come out. I don't know how that was for this, but this was more in the way of advice, which most of my readings are. That's just how I channel. But y'all got a lot of numbers. These could be dates. You may want to write this down. Okay, so we have 6, 3, and 2, or 2, 3, 6. That adds up to 11. Also, this could be a 9 as well. So these numbers may be significant to you. I'm just going to give you a breakdown of the houses for these. 6 is actually, the 6th house is Virgo. Responsibilities, talks about a lot about your self-improvement even, routines and patterns. The number 3, the 3rd house, is Gemini. That's air energy. Lots to do with communication there, guys. So if this is a decision on communication, that's part of it. It also talks a lot about the way that you do things, how you speak to others, how you communicate with others. I don't know why I'm emphasizing on that, but I think that's significant here for some people. But also about education as well. Okay, communication, family, all that kind of stuff is the 3rd house. The number 3 itself is about creation, though. It's also the Empress, which you had. And she creates life. She creates things. She brings things to life. And you have the transformation, the Phoenix here. So I think there's just an extra point here that you can have a new beginning here in the month of May. There's an opportunity for that. But you have to make it happen here. There's a lot of 6s here, guys, and they had 6 number. So that's the number of finding that harmony, that peace. It's the Lovers in Tarot. It talks about work. It talks about, you know, like we said, the self-improvement, the routines, all that kind of stuff, health even, taking responsibilities for that within yourself. And then you have 2 here, decisions. It's a whole part of your reading here. Decisions, partnerships, balance. You know, the 2nd house talks about possessions. It's Taurus energy. Talks about being dependable, being secure, being stable in something, understanding things. Also determination, okay? Patience. Having all those things within yourself, moving forward in the month of May, okay? Also, I want to put an emphasis on the trustworthiness of Taurus energy. Because I do feel like a lot of this, what your blockage is here, is focusing on distrust in some way, shape, or form, and the loss of that is part of what you're carrying with you and keeping you unable to be able to grow. Turn you know, conflict into growth, okay? You got to change your way you're seeing things here. We have K, X, U. We have the and symbol. We have R, V, S, and T. I saw Kurt right off the bat. So you might like Kurt Cobain, or you could be listening to Nirvana right now. Who knows? Also, is that it? There's like nothing you can spell here with those letters. Well, too bad you can't spell, you don't have an A. Oh, you'd have to have 2 U's to spell Taurus. Okay, well, I'm going to leave you here then. I don't see anything. Yeah, I just don't see anything, guys. Let me know if y'all see anything out of that. There's just not a whole lot here. Don't forget there's an X here. Okay, so here's that. These could be your initials, someone close to you's initials. Could spell something out or just have certain significant meaning to you, whatever that is for you. There you go. Okay, so, and don't, these are just kind of people that need that extra insight, right? That want to see their name or initial or whatever it is, if they're unsure about this reading. If this reading was relevant to you and it resonated, take what you need from it, okay? Don't let these turn you away. Just have to say that. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave you here. Hope you enjoyed this reading. Hope it resonated and made sense, and I hope you enjoy your month of May. You have some good things coming in. You have some things you need to release. There's a balance that's going to come out into play for you in May, so good luck to you guys, and thank you for being here. Thanks for your kindness, your support. If you want a personal reading from me, my information for that is down below. And yeah, that's all I have. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 2. So if you chose the Yarn Tarot, and then this is a piece of cat's eye, teal cat's eye stone. Really pretty. Let's see if we can get it to shine up a little bit. This stone in particular is kind of not really shaped at the top of it exactly like it should. It's off on this side just a little bit. I don't know if you can tell. It's not as round over here. So, still pretty though. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull tarot first. I'm gonna pull some oracles. I'm also gonna pull a few stickers for you guys, and then I'll tell you what I see, okay? And then after that, we'll get some oracles for advice, affirmation card, and we'll also get some initials to close. So, okay, pile 2. So if y'all can't hear that, rain there, it's raining, I have my door open. It's been storming all morning long. We got really heavy storms this morning, lots of hail, and it's just been kind of a drizzle ever since then, so I thought I'd leave my door open. It's nice and soothing. Okay, pile 2, what's going on with you for May? What's coming in May? what this may look like. We have the Fool in reverse. We have the Hierophant. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. We have the Six of Wands in reverse. We have the Emperor in reverse. Why is the Fool here? We have the Three of Cups to clarify the Fool in reverse. We have the High Priestess in reverse to clarify the Hierophant. King of Cups in reverse to clarify the Ten of Swords in reverse. Death to clarify the Six of Wands in reverse. And the Moon to clarify the Empress in reverse. I think I said Emperor the first go. This is the Empress. Okay, bottom of the deck energy. You have the Hanged Man in reverse with the Nine of Wands under that, and the Queen of Swords in reverse, the Three of Wands in reverse, the Tower in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse. Okie doke. Gotcha. So let's get some of these oracles. These are called the Sacred Traveler oracles. What advice do you have? What's going on? More detail about Paul. Well, that kind of came out weird, didn't it? So we have answers. Answering the call, the time is now. Finding sanctuary, open to your spiritual source. Gates of triumph, success expands your life. And choosing your path, all is possible. There's a repetitive kind of nature to your reading here. I'm going to move all of this stuff up just a little bit. And we're going to put these down here, okay? Let's pull some stickers real quick. I know we already have a lot out, so let's see what we have here. Okay, so we pulled 2 stickers for you guys. This one right here cracks me up. This guy is focused. He's focused on what looks like to me the Two of Wands, because you have this 2 lightning bolts here, and the lightning is like the fire, you know, the wands. And so the Two of Wands itself is a card of planning for your future, which we do have. Choosing your path, gates to triumph, finding sanctuary, and answering the call here. So it's almost like this repetitive, and there's just one card on the floor. Hold on just a second. So it's almost like this repetitiveness, right? Emphasis again and again about how you are changing things in the month of May. You're moving forward in the month of May. You're having some kind of taking action towards something here in the month of May, and having a newness come in, expanding. That's all here. You're very driven about whatever this future plan is. You're very focused about whatever this future plan is. And I feel like music may be significant. Headphones are significant to you in some kind of way. You either listen to a lot, listen to someone, listen to guidance, listen to, you may have a mentor here that you listen to. This could be somebody that you just follow that you feel like is very helpful when it comes to your future planning, how to kind of guide you in some kind of way. But you're definitely focused here on your future plan and what you want in the month of May. Okay, that's the energy you're coming in here with. I know the answer is what this says, and then it says shit. So, and there's a bandage on her ear. So it's kind of like, this reminds me of the Knight of Wands, because the bandage that's on her ear and like the bandage that's on the side of his head in the original Knight of Wands in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And it's like I'm seeing this vision of someone that's to themselves saying that they already have the answer to what the answer to their problem is, and shit. You know what I mean? It's like that guy standing there with that bandage going, I already know what I have to do, and this just sucks. You know, like I know what the answer is, but it still sucks. That's this energy that I'm feeling, and it's kind of like there's a humor behind it, obviously. There's like it's not like I don't feel a whole lot of anxiety left behind it. It's just of acknowledging what it is and how you feel about it, and how you feel about it is it's gonna suck. But you're staying strong here, you're staying focused here, and you're gonna do it, right? You may even, for some of you, you may want to write something in May, either a letter to someone or have to write up some kind of something for your career or job, something like that you may be hesitant towards, and that's what you're kind of feeling like, I have to make the decision to do this, but it kind of sucks kind of thing. But you also know that it's for your best or for your highest good in some kind of way, or for you to be able to have triumph and move forward. You have to do this thing. I do say that you've kind of been sitting on this, I feel like, for a long time. This is something that you've been contemplating coming up into May. I feel like that you have the Hangman here in reverse. So this is definitely something that you maybe keep repeating because you can't decide on how to do it. But it's definitely something that you want to release yourself from. You know, you've hung on that tree long enough, and you have the introspection there of what you want to do here, and now you're ready to release yourself and to move forward with the Knight of Wands here, just to drive forward. And there's some sense to you that you feel as if this energy of not knowing if this is something that is selfish or not. I'm just feeling this. You got the card, guys, that says open yourself, trust your intuition, and cherish the journey. So it's kind of the energy that I'm feeling. It's like that, what that card just said. It's like you still don't really have all the answers, but you know how to gain those. And even though that it's going to suck in order to do that, you know that you have to do it still. There's something here in your life that you're missing. There's something here in your life that you're missing and that you feel a disharmony about. And I feel like it has to do with the emotional part of whatever that is. You know, the Queen of Cups in reverse. You're afraid in a way that I think you're afraid of being selfish. With your emotions. Or you feel like you have been. So worry you have. Am I being selfish about what I'm doing? Or maybe you do feel like you are, or you have been. And that's something that keeping those emotions to yourself is something you're doing to try to avoid a chaotic situation from taking place here. But there's balance in this chaos, by the way. Whatever this is that you're trying to avoid, this chaotic situation that you're trying to avoid, there's balance in that. That you feel. You have to keep all this bottled up. All the emotions, you have to keep them contained within yourself, because if you don't, this is how you are standing your ground here. It's like you're holding the pieces together by doing that. But you still have this kind of frustrated energy. you still have this energy of feeling powerless about how things are going to happen moving forward, about feeling powerless in order to be able to do what it is that you want to do. This could be a romance, this could be a long distance thing here. This could have to do with you're just trying to stay focused, but this is kind of getting in the way of that, which we talked about, that focused energy here. You feel like whatever it is that's there is kind of distracting to you in some kind of way. You have the Queen of Swords here in reverse. So again, it's like you want to be structured with whatever this is, right? But you feel the distraction there. There's a distraction that you're feeling there. But you're charging in regardless. For some of y'all, this is somebody that you want to move towards or you're moving away from. Let's get deeper into that. This is something that you've thought about for a long time, okay? Something that you've been sitting on for a long time. You've been feeling called to. Okay, you have the Fool and the Three of Cups. So when the Fool comes up in reverse, it's basically in your head, you may be thinking that in May, you may wonder if there are some people that are around you or some things that you want to do, like going out, going to a get-together, going to a celebration of some sort, whatever that is for you. You may wonder if that's good or not, if you should do that or not, or that might not turn out well. Might be some recklessness that goes into that, wherever that is, hanging out with these people or in this particular situation or celebration, if you should do that or not. That's weighing on you, okay? And I feel like that's more towards the beginning of May there, or something that you have to decide in beginning of May. The Hierophant and the High Priestess being in reverse, I think that you're being faced with two things here. One of them is I think you're being faced with something that you've been holding within, which we talked about that here with the emotions, but you're being faced with something that you've been keeping a secret, I feel. I don't want to scare anybody. If you are keeping a secret, you don't want someone to find out about something or whatever that is. It's that you yourself are putting yourself up for that, judging yourself in some kind of way for that. You are putting that in front of the Hierophant, okay? And you're looking at it in a way of, okay, I need advice about this situation, or I need some guidance here about this situation, about this feeling that I feel, this information that I'm holding within, these secrets that I'm holding within. And it's those secrets that you're holding within and that information is causing you some disharmony there. So you're wanting to go to this advisor, if you will. You just want to find higher guidance on whatever that is. So it doesn't make you feel good. And I think that it has something to do with this Three of Cups, which if these are people or a friend or something like that, it could have something to do with that. Like you're not sure how you feel about that. There's some secrets that are there with that. This could be secrets about, feelings, or this could be just secrets that you share, but something that you're wanting to get you're needing a higher guidance with, okay? Ten of Swords in reverse, the King of Cups in reverse. I feel as if you're trying to, again, avoid something that you feel like is inevitable. It's, the Ten of Swords. Also, we have the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups out. But the Ten of Swords is something that you, in reverse, it's what you don't want to happen. You're trying to escape from that happening. You're trying to, you get to the Ten of Swords, and before that happens, you want to fix it. You want there to be improvements, right? You don't want the Ten of Swords. So the King of Cups is in reverse because his emotions aren't connected. His emotions aren't tied into this. His emotions are like all over the place. You know, the King of Cups usually has those emotions in hand. They're well balanced, and he's capable of giving and receiving and knowing what he wants with his head and his heart, and still being able to be kind and compassionate and all this other stuff. But when the King of Cups comes up in reverse, it's like his emotions are taking away with him, going away with him, you know. It could also mean another thing. There could be a meaning behind this, that there is something that you're trying to avoid or you want to restart because you don't want to have this Ten of Swords take place. And so you're willing to put your emotions on the line for that. You're willing to risk it all just so this doesn't happen. So the Six of Wands in reverse with the Death. This whole reading is about you trying to avoid a change of something. So I feel you're putting yourself out there, but you're afraid to make that transformation. You're really afraid. In the month of May, you think about whatever it is emotionally that you feel like you want to express, you want to share, because you're having a hard time getting it out of your mind and having a hard time focusing on other things that you need to focus on. You've decided that you're just going to do it. Just going to go in there, just going to say what you need to say, and so that way you can be free from that and move forward. But even though that's what you want and that's what you're desiring, there's something else here that you're afraid of. You're kind of fearful that A, this won't be acknowledged well. B, of putting yourself out there. And then also how this is going to transform what's going to happen. I don't think that you've ever been in this place before. But you feel this call, right? You want to answer this call. You feel like now's the time to do that. The Empress is in reverse with the Moon. I feel like you think that this Empress here has some illusions about you, and that maybe why you want to come in like the Knight of Wands and clear all that up. You don't want to keep repeating the same pattern with this Empress. Or you are the Empress energy, and you don't want to be stagnant in that anymore, of feeling like you have to rely on others in some kind of way. Also, this may be someone that you want to come to ask for something here pertaining to having a change in your life. And you're afraid of this person's reaction to that. You feel a call to clear things up here. You feel a call to motion. The way that I'm seeing these cards down here is interesting. Because you go from answering the call, the time is now, right? And then you have the Find Sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source, which would be this right here for me. You know, going within there. You know that when the High Priestess comes up in reverse, there's someone that's keeping information to themselves, being silent about things. The Hierophant is about a lesson that you learned. It could be about, you know, seeking advice like we talked about, which is one of the things that came to mind most. it's also about leading the way towards some kind of commitment or tradition or desire of something that you're really wanting here to take hold. Being the leader there. And in a way, it's kind of like you are feeling this call to lead your heart in the right direction, or to lead yourself by your heart instead of so much your head. You are leading with your heart here. It's hard for you though. And the one reason that you're leading with your heart in the way that you are is because you do not want this Ten of Swords to happen here. So it's almost like you have to put everything on the line to keep that from happening. Even though it could end up in failure. And there could be a death of this connection, or a death of whatever this is. It's like you're willing to take the risk because you feel as if this could die either way. So why not take the risk? And you feel this call to do that. And it's coming from your heart space. You may have been away from this person for some time or something. With the Hangman, you may have been sitting and waiting in that introspection, but you're ready to come out of that now. Or not it's not introspection, it's kind of like a metamorphosis, is what I'm saying. Metamorphosis. You've gone within, you've developed this, you're ready to come out of that, you're ready to come out of the sanctuary. You want triumph here with Gates of Triumph. Success expands your life, and you want to choose your own path here, knowing that all things are possible moving forward. This is a big thing that you're going to go here through in May, okay? This is something that you've been contemplating, sitting and thinking about, I feel like, for quite some time now. And I feel like you're just at the point to where it's built so much that you're coming in like the Knight of Wands here. Coming in hot and heavy. Moving towards what it is that you desire. That's what you're doing. And yeah, you feel like this push. You feel like something is pushing you to do what it is that you need to do here in the month of May. But it's going to take you some time to come up with the parts of getting there, okay? So, just to give you an understanding of what I'm saying here, if this is the month of May and these are weeks in May, so you have 4 of them here. So the first week in May, you're going to feel that call, that pull, and you're going to know that the time is now. You're going to start putting those pieces together. You're going to know this is the opportunity here at hand. And you have this, the Fool here, that opportunity, that new beginning, the 3 of Cups, and answering the call. Are you going to go there? Are you going to do that? Are you going to place yourself in that spot? Or are you going to feel like that is not a good idea? This is what you're going to have to be faced with, I feel like, in the first week. Deciding yes or no. And then here in the second week and the third week, you're going to go through this process of coming out of whatever it is that you've been in, fully taking on that metamorphosis there that you've been developing over so long, that idea that you have, or that growth that you've had in yourself, and playing that out for your benefit. There's kind of a fight here within yourself, a pull back and forth of if this is right or wrong, if this is success, if you will be successful or not, and that might be kind of holding you back a little bit. But I feel like you're going to break through that, or at least I don't, it's not that I see it on the cards, it's that I feel it, that you have the capability and strength to break through that, okay? There's definitely an emphasis here, guys, that you are deciding in the middle of the month to put it all out there, to just do it and just go for it. It's right there, going for it, risking everything that you have on whatever that is to prevent a complete breakdown, to prevent a disaster, to prevent a separation, to prevent it's like a sever of a relationship or something like that. You're just putting it all out there in order to prevent that from happening. And you're going off of advice, and you're going off of it's like over here, there's some strange messages that are coming through here, okay? One of them is, again, I feel this energy of you kind of putting yourself out there. Because you're taking a chance of looking bad, in a way. You're taking a risk of rejection. That's what it is. And that is fear, is terrifying you. Because if you get rejected, death comes in. So not only did you heal this Ten of Swords and fix it, but it ended it completely. That is all about, you are taking a risk here in May. You're definitely taking a risk here in May. So, I want to get some different cards for you guys. Let's get some advice with, if I can get them. There we go. Oh, we got a couple that came with it. Hold on. These are the Divine Goddess Oracles. I use these all the time for advice. Look, a new opportunity and communicate. You may be receiving a opportunity to communicate something here with somebody. My head's tingling now as I said that. So that could be part of it. Tell me more advice for Pile 2, please, Spirit, about the month of May. Rest. Listen to your body, mentally and physically unwind. So this is this focused energy. Feeling like you have the answer, feeling like you have the thought or idea of what you want to do, even though it's going to suck for you. You're going to do it anyways. You're going to put it all out there. And staying focused. You may have to take a break, take a little rest before you do that. You know when you, I don't know, when you get real excited and pumped up to go do something, and then by the time you get to the action to do it, you're tired because you done pumped yourself up and all that. This is Spirit saying advice for you in the month of May is to remember to take your rest. Remember to have that self-care when you're going through this process mentally, because it's important for you to stay in balance within yourself. Okay? Realignment. Shift your perspective for a gained sense of clarity. This is what you're experiencing now. You know, that's why you went into the Hermit. I mean, the Hanged Man in reverse. That's why you were there in the first place. It's because you were trying to, yeah, shift your perspective. Have this transformation here. I feel like you may have to try. You may actually be wanting to shift someone else's perspective as well. That's interesting. What else? Resolving issues. Resolving inner conflict with others, healing past trauma. Yeah, there's something here pertaining to someone else. You feel as if you're putting everything on the line by trying to resolve things here because you're trying to avoid a disaster that's taking place. Apology. Forgiveness through mutual understanding. So most definitely there's going to be an apology that comes out to play. That maybe that's what you're putting yourself on the line about, is the apology. Not really wanting to, knowing it's going to suck, but knowing that you need to. Expansion. Pursue bigger and greater endeavors. I feel like this expansion is important to you guys too, because We have this all is possible here. And success expands in your life. Gates of triumph. So I feel like this right here, whatever it is, this obstacle that you're trying to meet head on and risk. Take that leap of faith there. All of that is something that is going to help you expand in your life. And I think that you're aware of that now. And that's one of the reasons you want triumph here. Very soon. The waiting is over. A decision needs to be made. Stress. Yep, like I said, that buildup of tension there, that stress. This situation is causing stress and anxiety, and this is what's pushing you into this Knight of Wands energy. Confusion. The present is clouded. The future is uncertain. More information is needed for clarity. And you're going to go through that. I think within around the second week of May, I think that you're going to go through a point to where you're trying to gain guidance outside of yourself in some kind of way, or whatever that is. I feel as if you're wanting to and you may be wanting to come to this person for some guidance, but it requires that apology. Take that into consideration. But you're confused still, and this is what's causing you to want to take action here. What's the future for them in May? What's the outcome? Spirit, what's the outcome here for them in May? Healing. Yeah. Apology, healing, how you can expand things here. Family. Family might be important here. You know, that Ten of Swords that you have in reverse could be a breakdown of separation from family or something to do with family. The family card is actually the Ten of Cups. So emotional fulfillment, I feel like, is going to come from that healing that takes place here. And deception, which is the High Priestess in reverse, is about deception. Things are not as they seem. Watch out for dishonesty. Express is on the bottom of the deck. So, again, that expression is there. I do feel like the Empress with the moon there, you know, the moon is that illusion type of place. You know, the moon is where the shadows are. But the moon is about deceptions. It's about things that are hidden. Things being a mystery. And I feel like you're going to come into this kind of confused in a way about this other person and where they are and how they are and all kinds of stuff. You feel like this person is kind of a mystery in a way. Maybe that's why you're so hesitant to put everything on it. Maybe that's why you're in such distress and confusion. It's because you still worry about dishonesty. One of the things is, though, is I think that you're worried about this person feeling like you are dishonest. But again, there's an emphasis on you having to put everything on the line because you don't want that Ten of Swords to be upright. Interesting. Okay. True offering oracles for advice. There's definitely a heart-to-heart conversation that's coming for you in May that will help you expand and help you heal, and it'll bring a emotional fulfillment here. Something's going to be resolved and realigned in May, but it doesn't come without its stress. It doesn't come without its confusion. It doesn't come without any of that other stuff, okay? We also have forgiveness again and truth again. There's going to be a truth spoken for sure. That's kind of all over this. Divine timing as well. Direction is on the bottom of the deck. So, yeah, you're gearing up to express some things here. And you're taking a chance. That's what it is. It's this. You don't know how this person's going to react to you about this. You don't know what the future's going to lie. You're trying to avoid a disaster. And you're not sure how this person feels because you've been bottling up some things here for a long time. This, you know, you feel this disharmony, and it's a urge to want to ask for forgiveness and fix this. Healing comes from acceptance. Help me, dear Lord, to fully accept what is, knowing that this alone will open me to new things. And that's exactly that. You feel as if this forgiveness takes place here, that it can help you expand. And it's one of the reasons is because you're stuck with the stress and this anxious energy over this situation, and you just want to heal it. Truth. When everything is done as an offering, even the act of speaking, you get shown when to talk and when to be silent. Your words come from silence, not fear. You do the talking, dear Lord. Take me over and speak through me. This is a call for you not to do this out of fear, but to remain in that energy of doing this out of love for yourself, doing this out of having that feeling of that forgiveness through a mutual understanding for one another. Do this in that healing way, not in a fearful way. Don't do this out of fear of a disaster. Do this out of the love that's in your heart. Lead with your heart here, okay? Divine timing. The divine brings things in timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves us too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. This is, again, an emphasis on you being able to trust this situation. There is some fear here of deception that lingers in this whole month of May in the background here. No matter what you put, what you've decided, what motion you're taking, how you're doing things moving forward, what apology you want, what healing you want, all this other stuff, there's a back part of this that is worried and fearful and hesitant because of dishonesty, feeling dishonest here. But this is a call for you to always trust in perfect and holy divine timing. Trust that if you have the opportunity, if you have the calling here, answer the call because the time is now. Trust in that. Don't be so dead set on the deception of things. Okay? So you have to learn to trust a situation. So truths are going to come out in May. I do feel like you're going to be able to have some kind of heart-to-heart with someone here in May to kind of fix this disharmony that was caused here. I feel like you're also doing this in a way of trying to avoid a disaster when you really need to be doing this out of the forgiveness of your own heart. Have that mutual forgiveness there. It can cause some healing moving forward. So the month of May for you is healing, truth, and expressing yourself so that you can expand moving forward and have things come in for you. Knowing that this will open you up to new things coming in, okay? This is the month of May for you guys. So I'm going to get some, I'm going to get you some affirmation cards, and then we'll get some initials and close, okay? Okay. I find a deeper meaning in personal growth aimed the discomfort. Well, there you go. See the cycles here. I'm telling you, this is going to be that you're going to be just going through this slowly in the month of May, just working your way through this. I find a deeper meaning in personal growth aimed the discomfort. It's like what I've been saying here is to do this with your heart, not out of fear, but out of the thought or idea of you're doing it for the deeper meaning, to have that forgiveness and understanding, and to grow personally, to have that expansion within yourself. Okay, that will ease the discomfort that you feel going into this, because I do feel like there's, you know, we saw that right off the bat with your sticker here. Shit. That you have to write this down. You have to tell the truth here about how you feel or what you want. I am the lovely I I am the loving energy of the universe. Yeah, that's something to keep in mind. You're doing this out of love. Do it out of love, not out of fear. Remember, do it out of love, not out of fear. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. This goes again with divine timing, to allow that opportunity to come to you so that you know that you're ready for it. You'll be ready for it when it does come in. You don't really have to be in the Nine of Wands energy. I think that you're in the Nine of Wands energy because you're afraid of a disaster happening. You're afraid of this thing blowing up and not getting that opportunity. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. Exactly. Be okay with that you desire. Too. Be okay with it being that desire that you have and being honest with yourself about it. Okay. So that you can expand. What's your desire? Well, I desire to have peace with someone from my past so that I can move past that and kind of feel better about my expansion or moving forward. Great. Go heal that. Sometimes we have to follow things with our heart and not just our head. We have to use both in sync with one another. I just pulled a whole lot. I just pulled a whole lot. Good grief. Okay, here we go. So the big letters, we have S, A, M, G. We also have the number 6 or the number 9 and the number 3. So 3 is about creation and growth. 9 is about the intensity, finally getting to that ending, closing cycle, closing point there, getting close to that. And the number 6 is about finding that harmony that you're looking for, moving forward. 36 could be significant. 63 could be significant. June the 3rd can be significant. Or the 3rd through the 6th of May, since we are talking about May here. Okay. We also have the heart. We have N-E-I-T-A, 2 A's, 3 I's, 2 E's, a Y, S, another S, J, and another J. Okay? I don't want to sit here and spell just everything under the sun. I'm just going to hold this up for you guys. Y'all can spell what you need to spell. This is whatever you want it to be. So whatever you're seeing that's drawing your eye, that you're saying, oh, it's this. If you see something I don't see, could you write it please in the description box for someone else maybe? I see ties here, so you may have ties with this person. That's why you want to avoid a disaster or something. Also, the number 10 is spelled out, so of course we have the 10 of Swords there, so that 10 is significant. You completing that cycle or being afraid of it completing is something that's there. Okay, so that's what I see right off the bat. I also see Jan. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up for you guys. Let me know if you see anything that's significant here. And that is all I have for you. So that is your month of May. Heavy emphasis on you expanding things in the month of May. Also, a harmonious, I feel like some kind of harmonious possibility for some kind of harmonious union in some kind of way, shape, or form. Just a resolving of something will take place with someone, I feel. And you will be moving forward in on a new path of your choice and recognizing the possibilities and expanding, which is great, which is good. It's good to hear. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. And thanks for being here. Thanks for all your likes and your subscriptions and all that good stuff and your kindness. And yeah, if you want a personal reading from me, my information for that is down below. And I hope to see you again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 3. So, pile 3. So if you chose the Cosmic Slumber Tarot and the piece of Malachite, then this will be your reading. So let's talk about some Malachite for real quick. And Ruby decided to join us. I just let her stay. She'll probably get down in a minute. I heard that cats are lucky in a reading, so there you go. So I'll just leave her. Okay, so Malachite. Let's talk about Malachite. Malachite is a stone that helps kind of get rid of negative energies in the body and in your atmosphere. It also clears and helps to clear out negative energies in your chakras. It can open you up more to spiritual guidance. It can actually help open your heart up to unconditional love itself. It can break down unwanted ties or patterns that you keep repeating. It helps to teach us about responsibility and taking, responsibility for your own actions, for your own thoughts, for your own feelings. There's just a lot that this stone can kind of help with. It also helps you to absorb information, process information. So I feel like for you guys, for the month of May, I feel like there's things that you're going to be understanding about whatever situation that you've been in. And you're going to have, this is going to be a new understanding. There's going to be some teachings there. I feel like maybe some patterns that you're going to be breaking yourself free from. And this could have something to do with the body in particular. This could be a pattern that you've been repeating within your own body that you may be breaking yourself free from. Or this could be just a pattern in your life right now. And you may have already been leaning towards breaking yourself free from something like that. Kind of in your thought process, kind of developing a new way of looking at the situation that you're in, or just your life in general, and kind of wanting to break yourself free from kind of those old cycles, the past there, and kind of turning into something new and different. Yeah, it's like in the month of May, I feel like you're going to be really like leaning towards or looking for new things to kind of experience. Okay, so if all that made sense, let's get into your reading. We're going to pull tarot first, and then I'm going to pull some Sacred Traveler oracles, and then we'll also get some stickers out before I start to read. So if you want to fast forward through the shuffle and stuff, then be my guest. If not, I'm just going to call out the cards as they come. Okay, so the month of May. If you don't know anything about this tarot, it's called the Cosmic Slumber because it's basically the dream world. Everyone in this deck are in their PJs, and it's kind of like they're in the dream state. So, okay, so here we go. Pile 3. I'm actually going to turn my lighting up, guys. There we go. Isn't that better? Ooh, not that. Okay, better. Pile 3. Okay. How's pile 3's month of May look? What's pile 3 expect for the month of May? So far, we have the 8 of Torches, the 5 of Torches. That's pile 3. Month of May, what I expect. We have the Princess of Swords in reverse. The High Priestess in reverse. We have the Empress here. And the Lovers. Seven of Torches. Hierophant in reverse. The Eight of Cups. I was just thinking about this when it came out. There's a situation here that you're going to be freeing yourself from, walking away from. Why is the Empress? The Seven of Swords in reverse. The Devil. Okay, we just got a whole bunch that came out at one time with the Lovers. And I feel like that's kind of the backstory about the lover situation here, okay? You also have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Torches in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Two of Torches in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. You're fixing to have a fresh, new beginning, and you're leaving something that you were trying to, some commitment that you were trying to have, or some kind of idea of working with someone that you were trying to have in the past. I feel like you're letting go of that opportunity. You're seeing it as a loss here. You're seeing it as something that you still kind of don't have complete, full awareness of mentally. You don't really understand why it's actually gone in the way that it has for you, or the way that it is. And you are kind of hesitant to move on, but you almost feel like it's necessary at this point, because I think this other person here is not in a position to where they're actually wanting to commit to you in any kind of way. So you're ready to leave that behind. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the Lovers that I see here. You do still see this person as this lover energy. You still want to choose this person. You see this person as someone that you're completely aligned with, that is meant for you. You're seeing them in this Empress energy. So this could be someone that's a mother, or has been a wife, or I'm getting heavy just a companion energy that I'm feeling. But this was a wish fulfillment, right? For you to reconnect with this person in some kind of way, or to be with this person in some kind of way that didn't play out the way that you were wanting. And I think that you're wanting at this point to kind of release yourself from this, because you see this as not getting anywhere, not going anywhere. And you're having to gather your strength in order to do that. It's very hard for you to let go of the idea or the hope that you and this person will reconnect. It's hard for you to let go of that thought. Okay. So I feel like this has been a process. And I feel like you've been trying to communicate with this person, trying to move forward with this person, and it has just been a challenge. Every step of the way, it's been like there's a door that's just been in your face. Every step of the way, it's like you get a little bit, but then you're closed off. You get a little bit, and then you're closed off. I feel as if you feel like it's like you've been fighting for this for a while now, and it's been such a struggle. There's been disagreements that have been in place with you and this person, and it's like you're at the point to where you just want to release yourself from that, which is interesting, because that's the stone that you chose is the same sense. It's to release all the negativity, and which I feel like the whole month of May for you is trying to release the tie that you have with this connection and move forward. But it's going to take a lot of strength for you to do that, because you're very much emotionally still invested there. There's something to do here with either you feel as if this person is withholding information from you, or you feel as if you are holding information from this person. in some way, shape, or form, the two of you aren't being completely open and honest with one another is how you feel. And it's like you're tired of that. You want to release yourself from that. You want to have a positive change from that. You want there to be honesty and truth and just to move forward with that. And you feel as if this person is not doing that with you, and that's kind of a push for you to keep going. And it could be just that they're withholding what they really want, or they're withholding their feelings, or they're withholding what they want in this connection, or you just feel like they're just not being completely honest with you in some way, shape, or form, okay? So you're in the process of moving away from it. There's something else here. Okay. This could have been a breakdown of a marriage even that you've been fighting for. That this person isn't. Because the Hierophant talks about traditions, talks about marriage, and you do have the Lovers and the Empress here, so some part of it kind of wants me to say that. And then there's another part that you may just be having a lot of conflict with moving away from this because you feel like this was stable in some kind of way, or part of a, it's like you're having to detach yourself from something that you already had set in stone, a foundation that was already in place. And that's why you're having so much conflict here, is because you're having to detach from a foundation that's already been set and in place, and that you see as where you're supposed to be. And this person's not complying with that the same way you are. So that's the energy of you finally walking away from this without being able to gain the information that you're really wanting from this person. Even if this person's being honest with you, you don't feel like they're being fully truthful. It's like you feel like this person's trying to... There's some... You're still stuck in obsessive thinking about this person, okay? The Lovers here, with the Devil showing up and the Empress to, be there for that. You still have a lot of desires for this person. And a lot of obsessive thinking about this person. And this is not a good energy to be in, okay? This right here. Because this can lead to a bunch of disastrous mental thoughts that consume you and keep you stuck. So even though the want and the need to move away from this is there, if you can't release yourself mentally from the obsessive thoughts of this person and the desire for them, that's going to be your blockage moving forward. You don't want to release this person in this mental state, okay? Because that's going to turn in, the devil is going to, it's going to turn into more negative things for you, which will catch up with you later on. The best way to release somebody is to release them in a knowing that it's meant to be the way that it is. You have to balance that out. I want to show you these because this tarot deck, I love the way that the Lovers and the Devil are represented here. If you notice here, it's the masculine and the feminine. And physically in their whole mental bodies, right, they're turned away from one another. Interesting too is the devil is part of the illusions of it. So these are things that you're coming up with in your mind, you're thinking about, you're analyzing, you're trying to figure all this stuff out on your own because you feel as if this person's keeping things from you. This could be you think that this person has someone else, or you think that this person is, that you may actually even think that this person, if you're keeping anything from this person, you may feel as if this person is already aware of it and they're just not discussing it with you. It could be things like that. Just you're having all these thoughts that are running away with you, okay? And it's interesting because on one side of it, that's there when it comes to the Empress, right? The devil, all those thoughts, they're there. But the other side of it, you have the Lovers. Now the Lovers is this represents the Sun here. And that's about, you know, success and having positivity and having joy and happiness and moving forward. So it's like you're fighting with yourself. Because one side of you is obsessive still about this Empress energy. And then the other side of you is wanting all this. Wanting a positive direction in your life when it comes to love. Wanting this companion. Wanting this someone that you can align with. Wanting this relationship, or you want this person to choose you is what you want. But this is also a card of choice for you. And it's interesting that that's the case because you have this down here. So like this whole spread is about you making a choice. What are you making a choice? Well, you're making a choice of this. You're choosing to walk away from a wish fulfillment, to release yourself of all this negativity that's holding you back, and to let go of the future with this person. So you are in a place, and this is what I'm talking about, where you have to choose to do this in order to move forward. You're at the point where you're like, I have to move on. I have to move forward. I cannot stay in this limbo state for this long. This is the whole month of May you're going to experience in this, okay? The one thing that is upright here is the Strength card. Because you know how much strength that you're going to have to gather in order to do this, in order to release yourself from this person, in order to keep moving forward, in order to have this with someone else, or to choose someone else, or to choose yourself even, and walk away from this. You know how much patience you're going to have with yourself and how much strength that you're going to have to gather with yourself in order to do that. You know, you want to triumph here. This is about endurance, you know. This is about where you have to realize at some point that you are stronger than you think you are. And you can do it. And this is you trying to gather all that. Okay? This right here, I really want to talk about this Eight of Cups. So the Princess of Swords is the Page of Swords, and it's in reverse. So this right here is a card of you, again, in that energy of wanting to understand mentally the truth of this situation, and wanting to be in a space to where you're trying to be direct with yourself and tell yourself that you need to move on, right? But it's in reverse. It's because you're overthinking it. You're you're getting yourself stuck into a position to where you're just sitting and overthinking and analyzing on this way too much. And it's keeping you, this is the energy that's keeping you in the inability to be able to move on with the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is a card of, obviously, there's still emotions that are tied in to this person and this connection. Okay? And this one's interesting for you in this whole spread, because these waters are rapid. And he's climbing, normally it's just a path that he's walking away on in the regular tarot, but in this tarot, he's climbing this mountain, which makes me want to revert back to here and about how the Strength card is here. And you having to really find that strength, that internal and strength. Fight against your own mind. You know, fight against this Page of Swords in reverse in order to climb up away from these raging emotions that you have towards this person. This is your obstacle in May. This is your whole entire obstacle for you. If I could sum it up into one word for May, would be strength. Would be you gathering that inner strength that you know is there in order to pull yourself up out of this with this person. You're at a point to where you have to choose, and you know, you're at a crossroads there, just like this here. The Two of Torches. You have two doors in front of you. Now, the reason that this Two of Torches is in reverse is because this is someone that is afraid of that change. This is someone that's not excited about making this choice because they're afraid of that change. But it's still there. So it's like you have this understanding that you know you need to have this new start for yourself. Yeah, and you have the Five of Cups under that new start. Because there's still grief there. There's disappointment on the way things how things worked out. So on one side, you're juggling the grief that you feel, the disappointment, the loss that you feel. And the other side, you're juggling this fresh new start and what you're going to do with that. So here you are sitting at these crossroads thinking, what direction do I take now? And you're afraid to kind of really to choose, to be honest with you. You're afraid to release this person and what that would bring. And you're kind of afraid of a new beginning and how that would affect this connection or what that would even bring. It's kind of scary to think about having a new beginning, to taking a direction towards someone else. To let go of this is scary for you because you still really have the want with this person. And if you let go and you move on, that takes it's for you, you feel as if that's a risk. That this is gone forever. That this is the Star in reverse. Hopelessness, closed doors, something that's completely closed off from the future. That's what you're afraid of if you take the other door. But then on the other sense, if you don't take that door, well, where are you? You're stuck. You're just stuck. And you're exhausted about thinking about this. You are so wore out about having to think about this. It's like you feel inside, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. You know, that feeling. So, let's get some stickers. I'm curious to see what comes out. I know I said I wasn't going to wait, but I don't know. I just went with what I was feeling there. So, let me try to pull up some from the bottom here. Maybe something come out that I haven't used before. Okay, so 2 stickers came out. This one's very strange. You haven't, okay, this is a clear message that they're giving me here. Oh, there's another one. Oh my gosh, look at, this is a very clear message that they're giving me here. You need to definitely move away and enjoy things to yourself for a little while, because you need to pull yourself up out of this, okay? And put yourself into a completely new environment. This is insinuating that if you have an opportunity to go somewhere, to do that, okay? Especially with Love Life in the bus here. If you have an opportunity to go to like a beach location, that's definitely obviously here with the surfboards and then this tropical leaf. But what they're insinuating here is that, oh, this is a advice. What they're insinuating here is that you will blossom in that space. You know, being afraid of taking a door is always going to be, there's being two choices there. It's always, you always get risk of choosing the wrong one, but you're looking at it in the wrong way. You just need to look at it as in what's best for you in this moment. What is best for you right now in this very moment, because you really have no idea what's going to happen once you choose that door or this door. You don't know what's behind those doors. So either way, you don't know what's going to happen. So why not live in this moment right now and say, what's the best thing for me moving forward? Choose that. What's the best thing? Not what you know, sometimes we desire something, and that's good and all. We desire that thing, and that's what we want. But they're saying here is to choose the best thing for you. What's the best thing for you to do in this situation? Is it good for you to stay in this energy to where you have hopes and wishes and dreams with someone that's not wanting to connect with you? And you fighting that and having all these negative thoughts that come into play because of that? Or is it best for you to move forward, to kind of put yourself into new places, new environments, new people, and kind of find peace there? Now here's the advice from the stickers. There's an astronaut here, right? He's way off out here. The world is here, but around this astronaut, you have all these tools. They look like math tools, but there's scissors here, which insinuating that you need to kind of cut some things out of your life here, or cut some thoughts out of your life here. There's a math equation, there's a timer, a ruler, a pencil. There's just all kinds of stuff here. He's holding up a notepad that has a green check mark on it. So this is saying that you're protected in the space of wanting to go and do something for yourself here. Keep living your life. You know, in order for you to be able to love your life, you're going to have to move forward and find new things that you do love, new things that you can fill that empty loss, that space up with. Refill that space with something else. And it's saying that you're protected in that energy. It's something that you're afraid of, but you are protected there. They have you. They got you. They got you. Also, you have all the tools that you need in order to do this. You have all the tools that you need in order to have this new life for yourself. To go on a new adventure. To take a new direction. I'm not pushing you to go date somebody else either. I'm pushing you to go choose yourself. You know? To go do things for yourself. You don't have to go from this person to the next person. It's actually really healthy if you don't do that. it's healthier if you kind of sit in your own energy for a little while and find that happiness within yourself before you start having someone else fill all that up for you. Because what happens if something happens with that person? Well, then you lose that person and you're back in the same position. Don't rely on anyone else to make you happy, ever. You always have to make sure that you're happy within yourself. Because I think a lot of the problem here with people is that they aren't happy within themselves. They have someone else to fulfill those needs for them. That's what they're looking for, someone else to help fulfill them and make them feel happy. But no one can fully fulfill you the way that you want. And do you know why? Because you are the only person that knows exactly what you want and need. And that always will be the case. Because nobody else knows you like you know you. So the other person that you're putting all those on, they're going to fail every turn. Every turn. They're going to fail. That person doesn't know you exactly to know what you want, need, and everything at the right moment, right time, everything else. You know, they're going to fail at times. But you can have that happiness within yourself, or find that happiness and fulfillment within yourself before you move forward. Then when things go wrong, you aren't in the same predicament that you're in right now with this person. I hope this is making sense. And I hope this isn't I hope this isn't triggering in any kind of way, because I'm only bringing these messages for you to understand how you can get through this and do what's best for you, which is really what you want. Sometimes we want people in our lives because we love those people, you know? We want them because we love them, we care about them, and we have something with them that we've never had or experienced before, and we don't want to let that go. But it takes two to be in that situation. So if the other person isn't giving, what are you doing? Because you're not getting, you know? What are you doing to yourself by keeping yourself in that situation? It's just something to think about, like really think about. And you have to take care of yourself. I always put it in words like this. Because we can't always understand that within ourselves. So put it in a scenario if it was someone that you loved, okay? If you were seeing someone that you loved and cared about, and this could be family, this could be a best friend, whoever it is. If you loved and cared deeply about someone, and you saw them in a situation where they were giving and giving and giving, or trying and trying and trying with someone that wasn't offering anything to them, and you saw them sad and lonely and just in a bad position or place because of that, what would you tell that person? Would you tell that person, just keep trying, they'll come around? I mean, I've heard that before. Not the best of advice. You know, I would probably tell my friend, do what's right for you. Do what's healthy. What's the best thing for you right now. And waiting around for this person isn't the best thing for you right now. You need to go have fun, experience your life. You're wasting this time, this precious, precious time. Time is precious, guys. Precious, precious, precious. Can't buy it. And you're wasting this time here on someone that's not wanting to work with you with this. And who knows the reason? You don't obviously know the real reason. Or you feel like you don't. Okay, great adventure. Take a risk. Venture forward. Exactly. Exactly. And you know, something else this Malachite represents is about taking risk, helping you to take risk. Gates of triumph, success expands in your life. I feel like they're kind of insinuating here that once you decide to take that risk and venture forward there, that not only will you have adventures come in, but you'll also have success come into your life. You know, there's the light is there out of this darkness that you've been in. You just have to open the gates and walk through there. Breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand. Yes, something that you're going to experience. This is the breakthrough that you're going to experience in May, okay? That breakthrough, that realization that you need to move forward, you need to keep going, that you've been investing and working on this long enough. Valiant courage. Take action with passion. You know, this kind of ties into that strength card, because the strength card doesn't represent courage itself, and you are having to have a lot of courage in order to move on. You are having to have a lot of courage in order to face this breakdown for what it is and move forward. To climb this mountain, even though you have these raging emotions for this person, to climb up away from that, yeah, that takes a lot of courage. Tremendous amounts of strength to move forward on past someone that you love and care about and you see in the way that you see this person. I'm going to get some wild offering oracles for you guys. But they're saying here to have passion with whatever it is that you do move towards. Also want to say that there may be something that you need to invest into, as far as maybe either a new hobby, new career, new something that you can that will help fulfill you in your life. That will help fulfill this space, this loss. Something that you can feel passionate towards and about. So let's see what messages they have. Well, that flew right out. Impatience. What else? Self-acceptance. Let's get one more. Okay, well, they gave me two. Look at that. We have work and service that just came out, and I was just talking about this. There's not anything in coincidence. Let's read these first because of that. We also have aging on the bottom of the deck, and this may be why you've kind of held on to this as much as you can. You remember I talked about the Hierophant and how you already have a solid foundation and things that are there. This could be like when you know, you're with somebody for a long time, you get divorced like late in life, and you're at a position to where you're like, well, now what? Where do I go from here? I'm already, you know, this age, like what is left for me? Lots of things are left for you. You live until you can be 100, 110, 120, you know, however far you want to take it, however healthy you are or whatever. You know, you have to live your life in that way, not in, I'm running out of time, or I'm too old for that. I'm too old to go do that, or whatever it is. You still have a whole life. Let's read this. Aging. I am one with unlimited love, beyond all seeming restrictions of age. I am filled with joy, energy, and beauty, a vessel for the divine chakra. Yeah, okay. Same thing that I just said, pretty much. Age is just a number. It depends on how you feel. How do you feel? I've seen 80-year-old women that act and feel as if they're still 30. You know, it just depends on how you feel. Work and service. These are important for you. I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source for all prosperity and will provide. Service. You stop using the universe to try to get what you want and start asking love to use you. You offer all and want to be of service. Ironically, many desires become fulfilled without grasping or manipulation. So this is asking you to kind of, in a way, it's kind of asking you to open or broaden your mind up to what you are capable of doing within your service, within your work. Kind of put yourself more out there. This ties into with this take action with passion. I feel this like urge that you need to kind of find something that you're very passionate about, something that's different, something that's maybe even could help others in some kind of way. It could be even the littlest thing. Just you being in a part of that presence of someone that could help in some kind of way. There's something here that's telling you to not be so obsessed about the service that you do and what your abilities are, but to kind of push yourself in that sense. Yeah. That's important to you, I feel, especially right now, I feel like. Because I feel like you're having a hard time happy. I feel like you're having a hard time with doing something that makes you happy, or being in a place where you just want to be filled. And maybe whatever it is that you've been doing hasn't been fulfilling you. And this is like a call for you to kind of stretch yourself beyond that. Okay. Impatience and self-acceptance. Impatience. My life is unfolding in divine timing. All delays are beneficial. I'm always at the right place at the right time. This is something that you really need to sink yourself into. Being at the right place at the right time. This moment that you're in, along with aging, however that is for you. You may feel as if, again, you're running out of time, or you're in a position to where you don't have a whole lot left that you can accomplish or do, or whatever it is, or have a recommitment with someone else, or whatever that is, or commitment. Stop doing that. Stop it. You're always in the right position at the right time. You're in this moment in time for a reason. Stay in this moment in time. Stay in this here and now and figure out what is best for you. It goes along with this self-acceptance. Nothing is more exhausting than endlessly working on yourself. When you offer your whole being fully to love, self-acceptance arises spontaneously. May I rest in our oneness, dear divine. This is about you. I feel like there's kind of a bit of you that's kind of hard on yourself when it comes to the negative thought process with this person. Or you may feel as if because this person's not opening the door up to you, that you're not doing anything right, or you can't do anything right. Or this person's expressing things to you that you feel like they're saying you're doing this, this, and this wrong, or you're just wrong, or whatever that is. Stop. Stop doing all that, okay? Stop even thinking about it. Stop analyzing on it. Any of that stuff, okay? If you feel like you are in the position, or you feel comfortable with who you are, then you feel comfortable with who you are. If you think there's little things in there that maybe you need to work on, then work on them. But don't be exhausting yourself when it comes to this person and trying to be something that you either don't want to be or you feel like you don't need to be. Have acceptance for who you are, okay? I think that's really important here. And I think that's something that you really need to look at that will help you kind of move forward. Sorry about my dogs. I don't know what they're barking at. No telling what they're barking at. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Okay, so let's get, I also want to get an affirmation card for you guys, and then we'll get some charms, okay? So the month of May is all about, like your stone there that you chose. releasing negativity in your life and moving towards more positive direction for yourself. But you're going to have to accept some things. When I lean towards love, I am led. Wow. Well, there you go. If this person isn't showing you love, giving you love, then don't stick around. There's a reason for that. Hey, it's okay. Now, looky there, you got Tater all upset. Oh, good grief. These two know exactly what's going on outside. UPS man's there. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. Yeah. There's some insight here that you need to... Shh. Hey. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Appreciate you. There's some insight here that you need to pay attention to. Gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. Good grief. Okay, so sorry. I mean, they were just having a fit. That poor UPS man. His whole truck was so packed full of stuff. When he went to get my package out, some of the other stuff fell out, and he was having such a hard time getting that stuff back in there. We don't give them enough credit. I mean, think of all the stuff they have to lift and crap all day. Good grief. Okay. Sorry, guys. So I am spirit having a human experience. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. This is the idea or thought that you need to kind of wrap yourself around that will kind of help you to move forward. To keep in mind and always remember, what's the whole purpose of living itself? You know, time, and this is another thing, it just keeps coming up. Time is so precious. And I know there's things in your life that you can be, that are parts of you that you can have fun and cherish and love. And those are the things that you need to kind of focus on and stay focused on in order to help you move forward past this other situation here that's not offering or giving to you right now. I know it's hard to move on past someone that we care and love about and care about and love. But, you know, at this particular moment in time, you're where you're meant to be for a reason. And even if you can't see that reason right now, one day maybe you might. One day you might look back and say, you know what, I'm actually thankful it happened the way that it did. There were things that I didn't see there before. Okay, well, there's a lot I just pulled out. There's a lot of things I just pulled out in this bowl. My goodness. So I'm not going to go through all these and try to spell. There's way too many here unless something just pops out at me. We have 85 might be significant for somebody, or 58. I do feel as if, you know, the number 5 is about change and the number 8 is about progress. It's about working on things and moving forward. And I feel like that's just irrelevant to your whole entire reading here, but a change is going to take place here for you, or an opportunity, okay? An opportunity for change will take place with you for you in the month of May. You will have opportunity for that. So I'm going to point out all the big letters first. We have S, we have H, we have J, we have L, G, K, V, we have another V for the round letters, an N and an L. And then the small letters, we have O, R, another R, the heart, E, T, L, I, A, another T, and a Q. Okay, so I'm not gonna go through these. I'm just gonna hold these up. For you guys to see. These could be initials. We can spell tarot in the, we got to see tarot right off the bat. But these could be initials. These could be just anything that stands out to you, okay? If y'all see something that's like very obvious or standing out or whatever that is, if you want to write it in the description box, you can do that. Somebody else might need to see that aren't seeing it. Okay guys, so I'm gonna leave you here. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope this resonates and makes sense with you. So this is basically what you're going to be going through here in May, is about releasing not only this person and this connection, but I feel like releasing a lot of negative thoughts that you're carrying with you, and moving forward and experiencing your life in a better way, okay? So I'm gonna leave you here. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for your kindness and your support and all that good stuff. And yeah, if you want a personal reading from me, my information for that is down below. That's all I have. Thanks guys. Bye. Hey Pile 4. So if you chose the, this is the newer deck. It's called the Influence of the Angels Tarot. And then this is just a piece of green Aura Quartz crystal. So I'm gonna put that right there. Right there. So if y'all can't tell, it is not the same day as I filmed the intro and the other piles. Different day. I couldn't get y'all's done, so I had to do it on a different day, but that's okay. Y'all actually got new flowers too as well, because I had to move the other flowers to the sun. Needed a little bit of sunshine. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pull tarot first, and this is gonna just take a look at what are you gonna be dealing with in the month of May. What is it that you're going to be faced with? Whatever obstacles are there, what can you expect coming towards you? Advice on how to get through this situation, on how to get through May itself. And yeah, that's what we're looking at. So we're gonna get tarot first, and then I'm gonna pull some oracle cards and a few stickers along with it. And then we're gonna get some advice to the end. All right, pile two. I don't know why I said that. Maybe if you were drawn to pile 2, maybe there's a message there for you. If not, just disregard that. Not important. Okay, it's super quiet in here, but my door's open, and y'all know I have like a zoo in my house with all the animals. So keep that in mind. There's no telling what you'll hear. Okay, pile 4. What can pile 4 expect, Spirit? What can pile 4? The Emperor, right? Oh, wow, okay. We'll take it. We'll take it. That's a good card to start with. We also have the Ten of Swords in reverse. They're kind of being thrown at me here with the Ten of Cups. Oh, somebody's taking control here in the month of May towards their happiness and what they want. Temperance in reverse. What can pile 4 expect? The Hierophant in reverse. Someone is choosing a new path, a different path in the month of May. It's like you're taking control, or it's like you're stepping into your own power here and taking control of your life. And whatever bad situation or upset situation that there was in your life, you're changing that around and going after what you want here with the Ten of Cups. These two cards here, there's two things that this is telling me here. One of them is you're going against what tradition is. You're going against something that others may see you as wanting to move towards. It's not something that you're doing. You're kind of going against beliefs here. You're going against the norm here. You're stepping outside of the box here with whatever this is that you're turning around. But you are still, even though you're in this Emperor energy, you're still kind of moving towards this in a energy of internally, there's still some disharmony about it. But it's something that you still feel so empowered on this particular thing, whatever this is, that you're choosing yourself outside of what everybody else's beliefs are or where they would like you to lead. Let's get some more. Why is the Emperor here? The Knight of Swords in reverse. It's almost like whenever you step into this power, into this strength with the Emperor, you're going to feel this urge. This is something I think that you've been sitting on for a while, of contemplating whether you're going to do this or not, okay? And when you come into this Emperor energy, you're going to have a point to where you feel a heavy, strong energy in yourself. You feel very confident and just very capable. And when you step into that power that you feel, you're almost going to want to go in and do this impulsively, turn this thing around impulsively. Like you're going to feel this impulse when you step into that energy. Do you know what I mean? Where you're just like, I'm going to do it. And it's some kind of information that you're holding on to, or something that's going to change some things around for you. Why is the Ten of Swords in reverse? It's almost like, too, you may already be Justice in reverse, exactly. You may already be feeling this way to where you're telling yourself, I'll know when I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like, I'll know when I feel ready. And you're saying, when I do feel it, then I'm going to do it. Then I'm just going to do it. Such a strange reading, but I like it. So the Ten of Swords with Justice in reverse. Yeah, there's an unfairness or something that was done to you or with someone, around someone, whatever it is, that you feel like either you were unfair to someone or someone was unfair to you, or it's just the situation itself was unfair. And you're wanting to fix this. You want to balance things out. Two of Wands in reverse. There's a lot to do with balance here and contemplation and the need for that balance and the need to straighten things out here. You're still undecided in this moment in time, okay? You're still in this energy of being undecided about how to move forward. And that's why you're wanting to put this on yourself about, you know, when I feel like the energy's there, I'm going to go for it. That's why you're in that space. But like I said, that you feel like there's unjust about a situation that you're wanting to turn around, you're wanting to reconcile, okay? And then the Two of Wands, you have a little bit of fear about not planning how this is gonna unfold, or not being able to plan out how all this is going to be able to come together, but there's an impulsive nature behind this, to where you're feeling guided in a way, to where like you're kind of feeling like, I don't need a plan, or maybe I don't need to have this planned out to the T. You know, maybe I can just go for what it is that I feel the need to do, and then everything else will be straightened out later. All you're desiring here is that you want this fulfillment. You want things to be better. The Ten of Cups is like the happily ever after card. So you're wanting to turn things around here in a situation, going from the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Cups. And it's almost like you don't even see how it's going to work or how it's going to unfold. You just know that you want to have that wish fulfillment. You want there to be a happily ever after here. The Temperance in reverse. Okay, I don't know what movie it is. The Empress. You don't know how this other person feels about this. Guys, there's hold on a minute, let me get this out. This is a very strong connection, I think, that you feel with somebody here. You have some holy hello major arcana here, and now you have divine counterparts. There's a closing, nearing a completion of a cycle between you and someone, and it feels very much so like it's in your hands. It's coming into balance, because the only motion card that's here is this Knight of Swords, which is under the Emperor. The Temperance here, the Temperance with the Empress here being upright. You see this person, right, as that divine counterpart. You see this person as that partner, that your divine partner. But there's two things here. One of them is, I think that you don't really quite understand exactly how you feel. But there's a point to this. I feel like you feel as if you have to make this decision in order to figure that out. And you just have to do it, because it's like something that's weighing on you, heavily weighing on you. Also, you don't know how this Empress feels either. You don't see how this is going to play out, like I said here. So you kind of just have to go for it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when, oh my gosh, this came across in a reading. Was it in this reading? I can't remember now because it's been a day. It was either in this reading, it could have been pile 2, because I mentioned it in the beginning of this reading. Something about you're taking a heavy risk here of there being some kind of rejection in some kind of way, of it not working out. But you're in the energy of, I know that I have to take this chance, otherwise I'm just never going to know. And it's like you don't want to have that regret, right? There's a Hierophant in reverse. And this is, the Hierophant being in reverse is definitely showing me that the Five of Swords, exactly. This is the conflict, okay, that's around this. The conflict that's around this is the Hierophant in reverse. The Hierophant, when it comes up in reverse, it's going against tradition. It's going against, it's a rebellion. It's a card of rebellion. Is rebellioning? Is that a word? It's a card of rebelling against a situation or against what others think. And you have the Five of Swords here to clarify that. The Five of Swords it's literally about people disagreeing or having conflict, which is the same thing I said when this came out. So it's just clarifying what I was already feeling, that there is something to do with people that are going to have conflict with this thought or idea that you've you feel impulsively drawn to or making a decision on. I think you've already made this decision. I think that you've already made the decision that you're going to do it. It's just you're waiting for the right time to do it. Let's see what the bottom of the deck is. No way. No way it is. That's cool. It's the Ten of Pentacles. It's the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the King of Pentacles with strength. This is something that you have been in the High Priestess, none of that. You've been holding this information within for a while. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's holding the chest. He's got a book on his head. He's sitting there contemplating. There's a like a spirit guide, kind of like an angel down here under the ground that's kind of like, hey, I'm still here. I'm down here. I got some stuff to tell you, you know, like, and look, it's like, he's just sitting there, or she's just sitting there and holding on to whatever it is, whatever information that you have here. It's just holding on to this information. The Star. The future here is a challenge. The future here in this situation is a challenge. And that's why you've been holding some things within. I think that's why you've been kind of sitting in this place of, you know, just holding on to the information that you have, holding on to the things that you have. Maybe in the past in this situation, you were faced with an opportunity that you couldn't take because of things that you were holding on to in your past, or things that you weren't ready to let go of. And you've come to this conclusion now where that this has been something that out of everything else that you had in the past, all that stuff has either changed or went away or not as important as you felt like it was, or whatever it was. The strength here of this that you want now hasn't gone away. The strength of it hasn't gone away. You're in this King of Pentacles energy now. You're grounded in this space with this other person. And you're not capable of being able to kind of see past it. And that's why you have this impulsive urge that I think that you've been sitting on for a while to reconcile or bring fairness to this situation, not even knowing what, you know, you didn't know in the past, and that's what held you back. You didn't know what the future would look like. That's kind of what held you back. You couldn't see it. That's what held you back. And it's not that you can see it now. You still can't see it, how it's going to unfold, but the strength hasn't gone away. And it's grounded inside of you, that want and that need and that urge, okay? The Three of Pentacles in reverse. There's an energy here of unknown. There's an unknown energy here, okay? How do I explain this? It's like, two things I just got from that card, oddly enough. It's like you want to put work into this, but you don't even know how you're going to commit to that. You don't even know if you can commit to it. But it's a honesty. Honesty is the word they're giving me. It's the honesty part of it that you want to commit to. Being honest with this other person, being honest in the situation, and being honest with yourself. And so you don't know how you and this person are going to be able to work together on this, but you definitely want the honesty to be there. Two of Cups, partnership. This partnership that you feel. The Knight of Pentacles. That's someone that's coming in for a grounded, solid offer. So it's like basically what you're saying is you may not be willing or able to, or see how you can commit to this person, but you still see them as this Two of Cups. You still see them as this divine partnership, right, that you share. The deep connection that you share. You see it. And that's kind of what you want to bring to this person. Is not to be sneaky anymore. Not that you've been sneaky, but I think that you for sure have been withholding information. It's like you're being called out. It's like you're being called out. I'm laughing because I don't know if y'all will be able to see it. But this guy's got the swords, right? And he's just killed one of the lambs, and the fox is there on the lamb. And he's running away, and oh my gosh, I'm getting so much from this card now. You've run away from responsibility. You feel, okay? You feel like you have ran away from responsibilities pertaining to this connection in some kind of way. And I think that goes along with honesty, because the Seven of Swords is about deceit. And I feel like you've ran away with this person in this situation. Like you ran away from this person. You ran away from this person. And you were honest with this person. And that's what's been laying on you. And that's why the draw is there. You had to go away, though, is what they're saying. You had to go away because you had to heal some things before you were capable to step into this Emperor energy. And now you're sitting at where you need to make a decision of which route you're going to take. But Spirit's guiding you. And this card here, guys, these two angels up here, one of them's pointing its finger at this man that's running away from the situation. And the other one's face is just priceless. And I don't know if y'all will be able to see this. Oh, it's not going to zoom in right, dang it. But the other one's face is like in horror, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that he's doing that. Like, just running away from that whole situation. He's leaving all the lamb out there just to get slaughtered. You know, it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's funny. The look on his face is so funny. Like, this is like an interpretation of how you feel about how you've reacted in the past in this situation. And the Ace of Pentacles being here is that, you know, I laughed when it came out because it's the whole idea of what this is. It's you wanting to have a fresh new start here. And it's a pentacle. So it's something that's obtainable. Whereas before, maybe you didn't feel like it was something that was obtainable. And now you see this pentacle here, right? You see something that can ground itself. You want to ground it. You want to be able to ground it. You want to have a new opportunity to be able to ground this situation. You know, this is a card of new beginnings. New beginnings, an opportunity for new prosperous beginnings. And it's kind of the same thing that I said over all your whole spread here. So guys, if I know I'm reading this a little different than I think I did the other piles, but I'm just reading the way it's coming out. But it's also, you have a white rabbit here, so you may feel as if, I think that you're afraid that you've waited to the point to where you're not sure if this Empress is still in the same energy they were with you. And like I said, you don't know how this Empress energy is. I'm going to take a look into that, actually. Actually, let's do that right now before I get to oracles. So I did read these a little bit different than the other ones, but I wanted to say that this is what's going to happen in May. This is a process that you're going to be going through in May. And I do feel as if you will get that you're going to step into that Emperor energy. For sure. I mean, This spread was pretty awesome. Okay, I want to know, what energy is this Empress in towards the Emperor here? What energy is the okay, the Hangman. Okay. The Hangman is a card of breaking yourself free from old patterns, getting unstuck from where you have been constantly replaying something in your mind, or letting yourself go in, something that you have been sitting on, contemplating, really thinking about. You're in an energy now of where you're wanting to release yourself of that. So this person here is in this process of I feel of bringing their self back into balance and kind of releasing their self from any injustice that was done here. Can you clarify this Hangman? Tell me more about this Hangman energy, please. The Seven of Wands. It's a challenge for this person to do what they're trying to do. Oh. It's a sad energy. It is a sad energy. Why is it the Seven of Wands? Why is this a challenge? Okay. Four of Swords, that's them trying to regain strength, knowing that they have to sit and think about the swords, you know, what has took place here. And the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is why it's a challenge. This is heavy energy, this Empress with this, all of this. This is a process that this person's trying to go through here, okay? They don't feel imbalanced either. They're getting there. They want to get themselves unstuck from not feeling internally imbalanced and feeling like they just feel bad about the situation or how it's unfolded, okay? And this is the energy that they're in. They're trying to get themselves unstuck, but they're in this energy of resting and contemplating and, what is this? It's like trying to pull yourself up out of something that made you sad or you felt like you were, it's honestly, it's an energy of feeling like it's just overanalyzing a situation and over something that you felt like there was an unfairness there. Something that you've invested in your emotions into, and you feel like you're struggling to pull your emotions out of it. Okay, that's the energy I'm feeling. Because you have the Four of Swords here. And I always like to pay attention to the cards prior and before you get a card when it's talking about how you're feeling in a situation like this. Because right before the Four of Swords is what? Well, it's the Three of Swords. It's that heartbreak, that unhappiness, that sorrow, that absence, that painful separation, betrayal, the grief, all that. That's the Three of Swords. And this person's in this Four of Swords energy. That's where you're taking all that grief, all that pain, all that hurt, all the things that you have to think about over the situation that took place. And you're trying to have space to yourself, to renew yourself, to rest, because you know that you need it because of all that Three of Swords energy. And this is where your person's at. And they're doing this, they're in this space, and they're not investing it into anything right now. And some of it is they don't know what to invest into at this point. When it comes to this situation, they don't know how to invest. And they also feel as if whatever it was between the two of you, which I already know this because there's two tens here. So there was this is something that was a long-term thing. This is something that, like, you've been around each other for a long time. And this person invested into this, right? Connection. And they're thinking on it because they're thinking about everything that they put into this. Everything that they put into this. And in this Seven of Pentacles, which is different from the regular Seven of Pentacles, She's holding the pentacle and looking at the tree instead of just sitting there. And it's because I think this person, in a way, still has something that they want to give to this connection, but they don't know where to put it. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. This is sad energy, guys. It's really sad energy because I feel like I'm going to cry. This person has a lot of things that are around them that bring happiness and joy, and it's like, you know, the Empress has everything that she needs. But this person is still struggling with letting go of the situation with you emotionally, and I think they're just having a hard time grounding in whatever this is and how to kind of move past it. And they want to still invest here in some kind of way, with not even knowing how that would even play out. They don't even, I mean, I don't think this person really is worried about getting something back, or it's just they still have this pinnacle they're holding on to that they don't know what to do with it. It's like this person still has this love that they don't have anywhere to put it. Okay. I'm going to get out of that energy for a minute. Let's get some oracles. I think this is a big step for you in the month of May. Like, this is a big obstacle here in the month of May. I'm feeling like it's like the month of May, I feel like everything's going to kind of come to the surface, or there's a call or a need for things to come into balance here. Okay. There's something else that they're wanting me to talk about. This person may be a little bit... Honestly, I don't think this person knows how to be. But I think that a part of them is a little bit defensive over holding their own self accountable in this connection. I mean that by, I just think this person kind of, I think this person really thinks that how do I explain this? This person feels like they try to hold a mirror up to themselves, or they try to hold their own self accountable for whatever role they played here towards this unfairness. And in a way, they're kind of hard on themselves, you know, because of that. But they also understand and know that when they act that way or they feel that way, they know that they need to take rest. Okay. They don't let themselves sit in a bad energy for too long, which the Empress wouldn't. The Empress knows how to handle her own emotions, and you know, she's abundant, and she's capable, and she's just like the Emperor, you know, but she's emotionally nurturing, and she's definitely that way towards herself. And I think this person knows how to take care of themselves, and they know that this whole thing is hard on them. It's a challenge for them, and they know that that's where they're off balance there, and they're trying to fix it or take care of themselves the best way that they know how. Okay. Embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. This looks like the Empress card. She has that, she has the same flowers on her head. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, this person here is undergoing some kind of transformation in themselves. This looks like the same person. Does it not look like the same person here? The hair's the same. It's so crazy. Even the face features look the same, guys. They both have... That's crazy. I think that they both have blue eyes. And the way that their noses are shaped are the same. Their hair color is the same. That is so wild. I'm just freaked out by that. Okay. Crazy. I feel as if what this is insinuating here for you, though, is that you need to embrace when you step into this power, okay, you need to embrace the enthusiasm that you feel here, especially when it comes to this person, because of the way that these two images, they look the same. Something else that's saying is that you may need to embrace more of the divine feminine energy that's within yourself whenever you come into this. Whatever it is that you feel, whatever information you're wanting to bring and balance things out here, you need to make sure that you're not just in this Emperor energy, but you're also embracing this Empress energy within yourself as well, which is the emotional side of things. You need to make sure that you have both aspects coming to the table. So the stability and the structure within yourself and being under control, you know, and kind of taking that leadership role here, but coming in a nurturing way. Because this person here is struggling still about this. Yeah, you need to step in your divine masculine energy and step up to the plate and fix this. And you'll know when. And there's a call here for you to do that. Okay, I know that was very direct. I know how direct and straightforward that was, but that's the way that it came out. And y'all know I don't sugarcoat everything. So that's the way it came out. That's how they're wanting me to express it. You also have protected by angels. Look at that. That looks like Archangel Michael, doesn't it? It does. You are cherished by angels. This, guys, just in case you didn't know, this is definitely a divine connection here, for sure. Totally. 100%. 100%. And here's more clarification, just in case you needed it. Yeah, this connection is divinely guided, and I think this connection is protected by angels. I think this connection is being watched and looked upon. There's something to do with you and this person that needs to be fulfilled in some kind of way. There's something that you and this person, there's something here that you and this person need to be. Look at that Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. There's a lot of love in this connection that you have for this person. This person has a lot for you. Okay. They're wanting you to keep in mind when you go towards this, when you feel that draw to go towards this, to remember that you are protected here. Okay? That you're protected and you're guarded, and you know, because there's an energy, that energy of you taking a risk or not knowing what's going to happen here on the what's going to, it's all just, you need to stay focused and be enthusiastic about going into this. And knowing that it's going to turn around for both of your highest goods, and that it's going to bring in that 10 of Cups, you know, this happiness here. That's the mindset that you need to be in, and knowing that you're protected here and this person's protected here, okay? I think that's important for you to know. Because I think that there's a little fear to take this jump. There's a little bit of that there, which is, I think, the energy you're in currently. Watching clouds, lay back, rest, and relax. I'm laughing because this is the energy that I feel that you will come into. Once you get past all this other stuff, this is the energy that you're both going to be coming into here. You're both going to be able to be in this more laid back, more breathable space. You're going to be much happier at the end of May than you are right now because of the situation unfolding and getting to a calmer place. I'm going to get one more. I don't know why I feel drawn to get one more. Let's do it. Oh, that just flew out funny. Ascending the mountains. Ascending the mountain. Keep going forward. Yeah. This is ascension energy I'm feeling. This is like, again, under the deck we have a fox, guys. Wandering path. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. This is a journey that you're taking with this person, okay? And this ascension thing here, I feel like this is you coming into your power. So this is, okay, let me see how I'm going to interpretate this to where you can understand what I'm feeling here. You going through this situation with this person and gathering the strength that you need in order to turn this thing around, and that being in that energy in that space is developing you into this Emperor energy. You're coming into your masculine energy through this connection with this person, which then is going to lead you into a place to where you can climb mountains here. Keep moving forward. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like it's this connection's what's guiding you into being able to play out what your purpose is, or what you need to be, the energy you need to be in order to fulfill that purpose. Okay, let's get some stickers because I really want to get some advice. I'm very curious to see what advice comes out here. Okay, well, we had a bunch that tried to come out. I'm just going to take all of them. Why not? Why not? I'm just going to take all of them. So you have the bus full of flowers. You have hearts. Imagine that. There is a lot of love in this connection, I'm telling you. We got a lot of stickers. You have all the planets here because this is, guys, I'm telling you, this connection is divinely driven. Definitely divine dream. If you believe in like star seeds and stuff like that, this is that connection. This is that connection. It's out there. You know, it's a, yeah. There's an energy here of you either wanting to travel or wanting to travel with this person, or some kind of energy here of wanting to have fun with this person in some kind of way, or it's just fun with yourself. And I think that this whole situation's been keeping you captive, away from being able to do that. The hearts here, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 hearts here, which adds up to 3, which is the number of creation and growth. And I feel like I said, this is like, I think that you've been connected for a while, and I think that this is something that's developed over a period of time. And I also keep hearing in my head, going backwards, going backwards, going backwards. So I don't know if that means that when I feel that going backwards energy in a connection, it's like it's like connecting with somebody, but then not like falling in love with them till later. You know what I mean? It's like a friendship going into a romantic, or they end up being in love with each other. It's like you're going backwards in a connection. I don't know how to explain it. But y'all know what I mean. Also a representation of just there being a lot of love here. And also the number 12 in tarot is the Hangman again, which is about a metamorphosis, okay? And we already saw that here with this Empress, something that she's trying to accomplish there. Breaking yourself free from old patterns as well. So this connection has a lot to do with that, breaking yourself free from things, from old patterns, which is again, the Hierophant in reverse with the Five of Swords, having that conflict with this being something that's outside of the tradition, okay? This camera here reminds me of the memories, which would remind me of the Six of Cups, which is the nostalgia card that talks about having that inner child connection there, or childhood memories, or having that innocence of a connection, feeling that joy in a connection, you know, that childlike joy that you feel with somebody is there, and memories have been shared in this connection. Now this one says is a gravedigger, right? And it also has the number 666 on it, but when I took it out of the box, it was 999, the way that I took it out. So 999 says that it's time to start a new journey and wrap up loose ends, which is the whole energy that I'm getting here for you in the month of May. And plus that 666 isn't saying that you just need to reconnect with your spirituality. And that isn't advice for you. That is advice for you on how to move forward here. Also, I feel like you may feel as if you've dug yourself a hole and that you're having to get out of it, and that's difficult. But you're going to conquer this, okay? Just keep moving forward and know that you're protected, and keep having that mindset of embracing the idea of the happiness here in this connection and how you can turn around this connection. So I'm going to get a postcard from Spirit because I feel drawn to do that for you guys. I didn't do that. I don't think I did that for anybody else. Did I? I don't think I did. There's something else they're wanting me to get. Okay, that's very strange, but I'm going to go with it. I always do. Or try to. These are the divine... No. These are the Once Upon a Dream oracles. And what they're telling me here is that, this is really specific, but I think that some of these cards are going to help you to understand, answer some questions that you have about how this is going to unfold. Okay. I don't know how, we'll see how we get that from these cards, because they don't have a whole lot on them. We'll just see. What is it? Whoa. Whoa, I love it when they fly out like that. Wisdom. You're going to gain some kind of wisdom here of when to do this from something. You'll know. I already said that, but unstable. Okay, hold on. They're telling me a backstory here. You're definitely going to have, like this idea or thought, okay? You're going to gain some kind of wisdom about something being unstable here, which in turn, discipline. This is a repetitive message of the whole spread, I feel. You're holding on to wisdom and the situation's unstable, and you have to discipline yourself in order to move forward here. But there's something else that they're wanting me to tell me about these, and I'm not... Opportunities, obviously. Hope is at the bottom of the deck. I need one more, guys. I need one more. Why isn't it? Okay, well... Unexpected. Okay. Now destiny is at the bottom of the deck. Here's here's the message that I'm getting, and I'm just going to repeat it like I'm saying it. So take what resonates for your situation, okay? This is something that somebody wants to know anyways. There's going to be some wisdom either sent to you about this person or to this person about you, about there being some unstable energy, either around you or with one another or with your current situations, okay? There's some just unstable energy that is going to be unexpected. You're not going to be aware or see this coming, okay? But I have to express this part. There's beauty behind this unexpected energy. And the other thing that they're wanting me to express is when you give this wisdom to this person, even though they're unstable and they don't expect it, there's beauty behind it. There's a beauty that's behind that. And I think another thing that's coming through is that when you feel the urge to do this, it may be because you feel unstable and you're wanting to reunite with this person in some kind of way. But it also might be because you feel unstable. And when you do it, it might be, like I said, this more impulsive energy to where it's totally unexpected when you feel it. You just feel it and you feel that drive to do it. But you will be disciplined here and obedient to whenever you feel that urge that you will act on it. Because you're already in that mindset. You know, we talked about you already being in that mindset of you'll know when to do this. You already told yourself this. And that opportunity is going to come. Opportunity will be there. Now this unexpected and unstable, I know I said a couple of things with that, so don't take the parts that you feel like resonated with whatever you want to know. But this is like a layout here, I feel like, of how this is going to come together. Okay, let's get a postcard. You know what? Just for fun, let's pull some eyes in just to see what the future of this connection is. Or no, I'm going to get some clarifiers for these cards because basically that's the same thing. What is wisdom here for? What is this wisdom? Letter. They are reaching out to communicate. News or messages are coming soon. Okay, so what is unexpected and unstable here for? Reconciliation. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's going to be unexpected. It's not going to be, there's no stability to this. It's not something that's planned. It's not something that that's what they're telling me. It's not something that is, I'm going to meet you here at this time and that and whatever it is. It's just going to be something that happens that you don't see coming. Okay, why is discipline here? Discipline. Why is discipline here? Challenges. Discipline with challenges. It's like this is going to be a challenge for you to stay disciplined. Why? Why do you have to stay disciplined? What is the challenge? What is the challenge? Oh. Again, we're seeing this commitment card, like we saw it at the bottom of the deck before. You don't know how this is going to work. You don't know how this union here is going to take place. You don't know how it's going to work. That's the challenge. The discipline, feeling like you can be disciplined to this situation. And I think this is also honesty that was coming out, that I feel like you're wanting to be honest with this person about. You don't know if you can be disciplined. You don't know if you can be committed, you know? Opportunities. Opportunities. safe. It has to be safe for you to love. Safe. Okay. This is definitely a reconnection that's taking place here. Key card, which is the information card. You have the key to your success. This is a yes card. So this, if you wanted to know a question, there's hope again, guys. If you wanted to know a question, had a question, yes or no, then that's the key card. That's your answer there. So yes is the answer. But definitely, this is a reconnection that's going to take place here for you in the month of May. That I feel like you are the one that's going to, you're the one that's going to initiate this. And I know this is going to sound weird, guys, but if this isn't you and you felt like you were more this Empress energy, then this is your person's energy. So take what energies resonate with you, okay? Definitely communication. They're going to reach out, or you're going to reach out to them with this wisdom that you've been holding on to. There's going to be a reconciliation that takes place. It's going to be unexpected. It's not going to be something that's scheduled out. It's just going to happen. I feel like the challenge here is being disciplined towards some kind of commitment, or how that's even going to play out or unfold, or some kind of conversation needs to be had about this whole thing right here. Or maybe that's what you want to discuss about this, not wanting to be in a commitment, or not wanting to be tied down in some kind of way, not wanting to feel like you have to discipline yourself when it comes to a relationship. Whatever that looks like in way, shape, or form, this is going to be a discussion. And then this right here, opportunities. It has to be safe for you to love. I feel as if there's going to be an opportunity here, obviously, plus you have the Ace of Pentacles here. The opportunity is going to be the reconciliation in a way. You're definitely going to reconcile with this person, but the opportunity to have a loving connection or situation between the two of you is going to be out on the table here, okay? It's a heart-to-heart conversation that needs to be had. I've been saying that a lot, but I think it's Taurus season, guys. It's what it is, Taurus season. Everybody's balancing. Okay, well, that wanted to come out. Everybody's balancing out their relationships. You know, Taurus is about having that security within that too. It's the second house. It talks about possessions. It talks about, you know, I have. It's a earth kind of thing. It's an earthly energy. Somebody that's wanting to be dependable and wanting to have an understanding here. Wanting to be practical in that as well for each other. Work together. It's about your possessions, okay? Think about what you really truly want and what you desire and what you want to ground in yourself and in your space. All of this is there. Jealousy, evolving, and dreams. I feel like this right here, there needs to be a conversation had about this, because I feel like there's jealous kind of energy that goes along with that as well. You know, when you get into a connection where one person's like, I don't want you to be with anybody else, and the other person's like, well, I don't want to be connected. I don't want to be disciplined like that. You know, like, I still want to date or whatever it is. I'm seeing jealousy again in my mind. But anyways, it's like, sometimes I get these words in my mind that they look like neon signs or something like that, flashing. This is just a conversation for sure that needs to be had here. Definitely. Okay. With love, let's see what this postcard says. The picture that's on it is a demi-swan. So swans are also divinely connected. I feel swans mate for life. So they're that kind of animal. And when they're alone, they're called the demi-swan. So there we go. Dearest you, do you know how much we love you and want to help you? We are here for you, and we hear you ask for guidance. But you must let go and let us help you. You don't have to do it all. You've done your part, and now let us do ours. You would be awestruck if you knew how many strings were being pulled through the matrix to give you what you need and desire. Spirit has a plan, and when you sign up to be a co-creator, you'll need to remember to allow the partnership. It's not one-sided. Your desires and plans meet up with those of spirit. Remember, through Spirit's timeline and ideas of how things will play out may be quite different from yours. Trust us, Spirit's ideas are amazing. Now let go and let us do the magic. Pay attention to other areas of your life, and before you know it, a miracle will have taken place. We love you so much. Guys, this is emphasis again on this reconciliation and unexpected, unstable. I feel like you, especially being in that Emperor energy, you may be feeling like a lot of control or trying to control the situation or trying to control how it's played out, how it happens, all that kind of stuff, you know? And I think that you're stepping into this fact that maybe you can't. And maybe when you feel that, that's why you're feeling internally. They're putting that idea of when you feel confident or you feel capable, you're going to just impulsively do it. Because they're wanting you to take a back seat here. They want you not to try to be in control and just allow things to happen. There's already a plan here, obviously. Again, this divine energy is intense in this reading. Enjoy the journey. That's what they're saying here. Look at that. Underneath that, you have the answering the call. The time is now. Okay, let's get some initials, guys. Oops. Well, the O flew out of the the O flew out of the deal. So, you know, the O or the 0 is the Fool in tarot. So it's about taking that leap in new beginnings and not knowing what to expect. So that's kind of crazy that that just happened. We have, so O. We have the Star too, and you have the Star. The Star is about wishes coming true. It's about opportunities. That's all good things here, guys. All good things. We have FLYHBRNC heart and A. So there's not a whole lot here. There's a lot of big letters here. You can spell holy. If you had one more L, you could spell my name. Holy goes along with this divine energy that I'm feeling here. And BF, I just realized I put that together and I didn't even mean to. BF, best friend. So like I said before, this could have been someone that was a friend that I feel this just backwards energy. I don't know how to explain it, but I know y'all know what I'm saying. What else do we see here? Can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And ran. Because I do think, you know, I said that here too with that, well, I don't know where it's at. That 7 of Swords. You ran. I think you ran from this in the beginning. I love how these are coming together, guys. They usually aren't this easy, but I guess they are today. Okay. I don't know what else we can spell here. If y'all see something I'm not seeing, can you write it in the description box, please? I know there's probably way more. I just don't want to sit here on it forever, but I could. I could totally do it. We have boy here. Okay, I'll stop. I know it just got super quiet and started to go into it, but okay, guys. So here's all the initials. So that might be your person's initials. It might spell something out. Whatever that is for you, okay? Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave you here. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and looks like you have a reconciliation that's gonna happen here for you in the month of May. And I feel like at the end of this, you're definitely gonna have that 10 of Cups energy, that feels safe energy. There's gonna be a safety here that you don't have now, okay? So good things are coming to you in May. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. I hope that it made sense. And yeah, if you want a personal reading from me, my information for that is down below. And I'm about a week out on that, I think. And yeah, hope to see you again soon, guys. Thanks. Bye.